The late, great Roy Orbison. There won't be many coming home. Quentin Tarantino knows how to pick music. I'll tell you right now. You haven't seen The Hateful Eight yet, huh, Jimmy?
No, I was going to last night, and I did Ari Shaffir's show at the Village Underground. I wanted to see The Hateful Eight very much.
You will eventually, and I think you'll love it.
But I want to see it in the pan vision.
You have to see it that way.
Pan vision. God, Mr. Showbiz, the pan vision.
Make sure you call it that when it comes out.
I like the pan vision, Mr. Tarantino. That was a song they played in the closing credits of The Hateful Eight. Yeah, he just knows how to pick music. I don't think I ever heard that song before I watched the movie, and now I really like it.
I want to know who does his music. I'm going to mark that down because he literally in every movie has the best music at their best times, and they're like in Pulp Fiction when fucking Bruce Willis is sitting there, counting flowers on the wall. Like, he has these crazy weird songs that you have to go and download everything.
Yeah, I would bet it's him. I would bet
he's got
a guy,
somebody that helps him. Yeah,
but you don't think it's his musical taste?
I think he's very involved, but I know that he has
someone that helps him out with that.
Yeah.
All right,
it's so good, man.
Yes, it is. We got Quentin Tarantino a little later this morning, so that's going to be wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Wait till I ask him about Pulp Fiction.
You can ask a Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, but
today?
that's Sam Jackson's speech, huh?
Ask him why that wasn't filmed in Panvision.
Yeah, why wasn't that filled in Pan Vision?
Oh my God! That would
I want to see the version that's out now. That's the preview version.
You gotta.
There's more screeners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you grab one because it's a great way to see this film.
When, Teft? Get me a schedule.
I'll get it for you.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out for you.
I didn't think that would work. Okay.
Who watched the debate last night?
I watched it.
Eric Stengel.
Yes. Every damn
Come
second
on down.
of it. Yeah.
How was it?
It was a lot of fun. I kind of enjoyed it.
Craziness going on.
Ooh.
There was coughing.
Who was coughing?
Probably me, because I'm always in. Oh, sorry.
Well, no, they needed a cough button. All I was thinking was that we should have.
Really?
Yeah, they should have done something. I think it was Carson that was coughing.
Oh, Ben Carson is just dead in the water. His campaign is so over.
Yeah.
He's dropped drastically in the polls, and he's not coming back from that.
He is not coming back.
I appreciated his moment of silence, but that was so freaking awkward. Wasn't it?
I don't appreciate his moment of silence.
Why? It's for a good cause. It was for victims.
Who did the moment of silence?
Ben Carson.
They had each candidate, they gave him a moment to introduce themselves.
Yeah.
So, Christie's like, America's at a crossroads. We have to blah, 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 blah. And the next person they start to get
you did the Chris Christie wrong. Everything is about Jersey. Yeah. We got to get a montage of every time he made it about Jersey.
Did he say New Jerseyans?
He said New Jerseyans. He said Jersey. I'm Jersey, governor of Jersey. It's unbelievable. Look, Jersey's a wonderful state, but let's relax a little bit. No one else up there is talking about their state as much as Chris Christie is.
I do like
why
him,
he does this for Jersey, and if he did it for Jersey, he could do it for the world.
Basically what he's saying is, look at this collection of retards I've had to deal with. If I can give a go at this, the rest of you is going to be a cakewalk. Look at this shithouse. I have to deal with Princeton and Camden in the same office.
Too bad he didn't say that, because that certainly would have turned some voters. But he made it on the big stage.
He did, right?
He's back on the big stage.
Good for him.
He's no longer on the JV squad.
Right.
The JV squad debate was so much fun to watch, because they kept saying, when I'm president, and I'm like,
yeah.
You don't have
George
a shot.
Pataki is still saying that.
Yeah, George Pataki's still saying, when I'm president.
That's cute, almost.
Yeah,
it's sad. George Pataki running is almost like when your nephew does a performance in the living room. You're like, God, come here. Come on. Give me a hug.
Oh, he thinks he's people.
Yeah, Huckabee's on the JV squad.
Santorum.
Oh, right, Santorum, that guy. And then Pataki. But anyway, so Chris Christie made it about New Jersey a lot, and he was the only one that wasn't standing behind the podium properly. He was leaning the whole time in this weird... Did you see how he was leaning?
Was he trying to look casual?
He was trying to look casual, but I don't think his legs can handle standing for that long, if you want to know the truth.
He also had a mug. which seemed weird. Everybody else had their water bottle. He had a mug.
Good for him. Drink out of a mug. Fat man like a mug.
Because that's what
fat man want a mug.
Because that's what we do in Jersey.
Yeah, we're mug people.
We're mug people.
We don't waste plastic. We reuse porcelain. I like him a lot, and it's just I hate the way he does that fucking like that little thing like there's a man home. Yeah. I don't care about him, and neither do you. Shut up.
I think if he adjusts that just a little bit, I think more people would come on board.
Yeah,
because he seems to be a pretty smart person and has a personality, but he interjects that Jersey angle way too much. And Ben Carson, here's his moment of silence.
Oh, embarrassing.
Yeah, so he was like the fifth or sixth person to introduce themselves, and here's how he started.
Yes.
Thank you, Wolf. Please join me for a moment of silence in remembrance of the San Bernardino victims. Thank you.
That's 4 seconds.
You know, our country, since its
that was 4 seconds.
He's just going for a moment. Like, what fucking fraudulent shit? He's just going. If that happened that day, but it was, why don't you mention 9/11 while you're at it, you fucking idiot? It's literally going for a moment at the expense of these dead people.
It was kind of uncomfortable because no one else really went there. Patton Oswalt's brother, Matt, is hilarious on Twitter. He's amazing. What's his Twitter?
Puddin' Strip.
Yeah, Puddin' Strip. He tweeted, I've seen Vine videos longer than that moment of silence. Too funny, man. Yeah. Way to go, Matt Oswald. Yeah, Puddin' Strip. If you're not following him, I don't know what you're doing. He's one of the better ones on Twitter, for sure. What else about the debate? Jeb Bush wasn't going to take anyone's shit, right?
Yeah, but he's like a fake tough guy.
What do you mean? He's a fake tough guy.
He puffs his chest and then Trump slaps him down.
Yeah. Well, he decided I ain't taking Trump's shit anymore. But every time he said that, then Trump would just hit him harder.
Yeah.
It's not a fair fight.
Because none of these guys they're not used to hitting like that. They're better at picking apart the issues.
Yeah.
But none of them are better at just standing there being a dick.
Being a bully, basically.
Because he's good at that because he's fucking run his own thing he had never had to be polite.
Yeah.
So when you never have to be polite, now you're in front of all these people, you're just going to handle shit.
Yeah.
It's like it was like watching Patrice with that stupid feminist.
Oh, sure.
She's so used to doing polite debates.
Yeah.
And, well, I don't go.
Yeah.
And then he's just telling her basically to shut her fucking mouth, and she didn't know how to handle that.
Even though Trump's a rich guy, he knows his way around the schoolyard.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
What was I going to say? Oh, the one thing about Jeb Bush, when they came out to start the debate, they all stood there for a group picture. Did you see how?
Yes, I noticed.
You did notice that? All right, good.
That
he is so stiff, he can't even stand properly.
His arms, I'll try to find a photo of and post it, but his arms are not at his sides.
He's just so
his relaxing motion is his arms kind of
He's self-conscious. He's very self-conscious. Everything he does, he's probably second-guessing.
He's worried about every little...
Yeah. Oh, God, I look like a wimp. I look stupid. I look ineffective. He's not relaxed or loose.
All right. Let's go to the Jeb Bush Trump highlights. This is damn good. This is very good. This is all you need to see, Jimmy. Highlights of the Trump Bush split screen. All right, they got music.
Donald, is great at the one-liners, but he's a chaos candidate.
Ew.
Jeb doesn't really believe I'm unhinged. He said that very simply because he has failed in this campaign. It's been a total disaster.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. And frankly, I'm the most solid person up here. I built a tremendous company, and all I want to do is make America great again.
That's not a serious proposal. We need a serious leader to deal with this, and I believe I'm that guy.
When you had the World Trade Center go, people were put into planes that were friends, family, girlfriends, and they were put into planes and they were sent back for the most part to Saudi Arabia. They knew what was going on. They went home and they wanted to watch their boyfriends on television. I would be very, very firm with families.
This is another example of the lack of seriousness. Look, this is troubling because we're at war. They've declared war on us, and we need to have a serious strategy to destroy ISIS. But the idea that is a solution to this is just crazy. And he gets his foreign policy experience from the shows.
Come on,
that is not a serious kind of candidate.
Honestly, I think Jeb is a very nice person. He's a very nice person, but we need tough people. We need toughness. We need intelligence, and we need tough. Am I talking or are you talking, Jeb?
I'm talking right now. I'm talking.
You can go back. You're not talking. You interrupted me,
September 30th,
Are you going to apologize, Jeb? No. Am I allowed to finish?
Yes, one at a time.
Excuse me. Am I allowed to finish?
Go ahead, Mr. Trump.
Just childish.
So, again, I know you're trying to build up your energy, Jeb, but it's not working.
And that's why I love this fucking dude.
Yep.
Just call these fucking assholes out. Oh, how embarrassing. That's exactly what he was trying to do.
What did he say? You're not going to bully your way to the presidency or something like that, or insult your way to the presidency? And
you can't insult your way to the presidency.
Is that clip in there? Because then he talks about, he makes fun of Bush and says, you got 3% and I'm up to 42%. Yeah. Your campaign is a complete and utter disaster. Did he say the 42 versus 3% in that earlier clip or no?
No, not in the one we just saw, but we have that separately.
Okay, and is that it from the highlights?
There's a little more in the highlights.
Let me hear the rest of the highlights first.
I just enjoy that. It's fun to watch him speak to these people the way you want to speak to them.
Yeah. Of course.
Seek out, as I have, the best advice that exists. I won't get my information from the shows. I don't know if that's Saturday morning or Sunday morning. I don't know which one. This is a tough business to run for president.
I know. You're a tough guy, Jeb.
Yes, and we need to have a leader that is real tough. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see. I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So far I'm doing better.
One of these guys, one of these guys is going to be, well, maybe not be our next president. Who knows? Everyone's saying that it's Hillary's to lose at this point.
So much fun to watch
because the whole GOP is a mess right now. They just don't know how to handle Trump.
Yeah, like everyone's saying what a shithead he is and how he's not ready and all. Yeah, but what's like? Fucking Bush can't even take a photo comfortably. Like, he's literally so uncomfortable in his own skin, he's got to put his arm, like, who wants that guy? Who wants a guy that stands on his tiptoes for a photo with the rest of them? Do you remember that clip?
Yeah.
Where he stands on his tippy toes?
To look taller or something?
Fucking douche.
That old gag?
What a douche.
Donald Trump calls CNN debate unprofessional. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did see this as well.
He turned on CNN.
Yeah, because...
Why wouldn't he?
Well, because CNN, they're smart. They know where the ratings will come from, sure. And if you could get a little conflict going between Trump and anybody on that stage, that's great for CNN, right? Because everyone's going to be playing the clips the next morning. And Trump was fully aware that that was sort of going on, and he called them out.
I think it's very sad that CNN leads Jeb Bush, Governor Bush, down a road by starting off virtually all of the questions, Mr. Trump this, I think it's very sad. And frankly, I think it's very sad. And frankly, I watched the first debate, and the first long number of questions were, Mr. Trump said this, Mr. Trump said that, Mr. Trump. These poor guys, although I must tell you, Santorum, good guy. Governor Huckabee, good guy. They were very nice, and I respect them greatly. But I thought it was very unfair that virtually the entire early portion of the debate was Trump this, Trump that, in order to get ratings.
But Mr. Trump, it's not
in order
CNN.
To get ratings,
Mr. Trump, I was on CNN last night watching.
Excuse me, I think it's very unprofessional.
but it wasn't.
Excuse me, and the guy shut up.
Yeah,
that's a guy who has run a lot of board meetings. Excuse me.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to talk.
Yeah, he knows his word.
I love it.
Yes.
Fuck, these people are also hateable.
Yes.
He's right. Why? Even he's tired of his own dumb name. Why are they continuing to ask about him only?
Because they know that's
they
why,
want the clip. Yeah,
they know that's why a lot more people are watching these things than in past debates. Get to the end of the clip.
It wasn't CNN. It was me. I watched you last night for 16 minutes.
I think it's very
not CNN. It's not CNN. Okay. It's America's watching you.
Okay, fine.
It's America's watching.
All right, there you go. What else about the debate? I like the Bush. You can't insult your way into the presidency. The longer form, the longer clip we got as well. Yes. This was this is how it really went down with Jeb Bush and Trump. Oh, do we have ad blocker yet today?
Yeah, sure.
We do?
No.
And then people are yelling that we got to get the red tube.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we going to get the red tube at least?
We were told.
What is the red tube?
You can pay.
I think a fleshlight option.
You can pay for a service on YouTube, and you don't have to watch the ads.
Yeah, but that's got to go through a whole bunch of people before they'll decide.
You know what? If we knew that existed, then why have we been waiting
I didn't know that existed. How much is it?
Months?
Like $500 a month or something?
$9 lousy dollars a month.
Isn't that just like a quick expense?
Yeah.
I would believe so, but now that's got to go through the proper channels around here. That's going to take at least a month.
$9 a month, we can all fucking chip in, what fat, and fucking at the end of the month figure it out. I hate saying the word. I have to do it to myself and interrupt my own flow.
All right, we got the clip. Here we go.
The problem is We need toughness. Honestly, I think Jeb is a very nice person. He's a very nice person, but we need tough people. We need toughness. We need intelligence, and we need tough. Jeb said when they come across the southern border, they come as an act of love.
You said in September 30th that ISIS was not a
am I
not
talking or are you talking, Jeb?
I'm talking right now. I'm talking.
You can go back. You're not talking. You interrupted me,
September 30th,
Are you going to
you
apologize, Jeb? No. Am I allowed to finish?
Yes, one at a time.
Excuse
go ahead,
me. Am I allowed to finish?
Go ahead, Mr. Trump.
So,
little of your
again,
own medicine there.
I know you're trying to build
Bush,
up your energy,
please.
Jeb, but it's not working.
One at a time.
Well.
Yeah.
Look.
Oh, and that kind of applause
we need
break.
A toughness.
How embarrassing.
We need strength. We're not respected as a nation anymore. We don't have that level of respect that we need. And if we don't get it back fast, we're just going to go weaker, and just disintegrate. We can't allow that to happen. We need strength. We don't have it. When Jeb comes out and he talks about the border, and I saw it, and I was witness to it, and so was everyone else, and I was standing there, they come across as an act of love. He's saying the same thing right now with radical Islam. And we can't have that in our country. It just won't work. We need strength.
Governor Bush.
Donald, you're not going to be able to insult your way to the presidency. That's not going to happen. And I do have the strength.
Oh, that got an applause. Something resonated with the folks there that evening.
Leadership is not about attacking people and disparaging people. Leadership is about creating a serious strategy to deal with the threat of our time. And I laid out that strategy before the attacks in Paris and before the attacks in San Bernardino, and it is the way forward. We need to increase our military spending. We need to deal with a no-fly zone in Syria, a safe zone. We need to focus on building a military that is second to none so that we can destroy Islamic terrorism.
With Jeb's attitude, we will never be great again.
Hey, at least he said, I remember the same thing. At least he said Islamic terrorism. And at least the Republicans will say Islamic terrorism.
Yeah, in general, they say that. Yeah. One more clip, and then I got Stunt Brain to fill in the blanks of the GOP debate from last night on CNN. The Chaos Candidate clip is really good, too.
You want to go there? Because I think we already covered that in the highlights.
Pretty much?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if there was a little more to it, because CNN really chopped the hell out of the back and forth. Rand Paul? You want to go Rand Paul then? Paul. I thought Rand Paul had a pretty good debate.
He did.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes up a little bit in the polls after his performance yesterday.
What, to like 3%?
Well, I know. What is he at? Like 1 or 2%? He's pretty much in last place.
He's like the farther out you go on the dais.
No, I know that. He's all the way. He was all the way to the right. So that's not good.
He was actually in a metal folding chair.
Trump made fun of that too. Who did he do that to? Was it Bush? Bush again? Jimmy, he goes, how did he say it? He goes, you used to be in the middle here with me, and now look how far over you are. And Bush just sits there and takes it. He doesn't know how to say anything. He doesn't know how to handle that type of thing. All right, Rand Paul questions Donald Trump's candidacy.
To go back to, though, another question, which is Donald Trump a serious candidate? The reason I ask this is if you're going to close the internet, realize, America, what that entails. That entails getting rid of the First Amendment, okay? It's no small feat. If you are going to kill the families of terrorists, realize that there's something called the Geneva Convention we're going to have to pull out of. It would defy every norm that is America. So when you ask yourself, whoever you are that think you're going to support Donald Trump, do you believe in the Constitution? Are you going to change the Constitution?
Mr. Trump.
So they can kill us, but we can't kill them. That's what you're saying. And as far as the internet is concerned, I'm not talking about closing the internet. I'm talking about parts of Syria, parts of Iraq, where ISIS is, spotting it. Now, you could close it. What I like even better than that is getting our smartest and getting our best to infiltrate their internet so that we know exactly where they're going, exactly where they're going to be. I like that better. But we have to...
The faces. He's got to stop with the faces.
Yeah, the faces are
stop
are
with the exasperation. I can't believe there's a time limit.
Yeah,
please.
I just can't imagine somebody booing. These are people that want to kill us, folks. And you're objecting to us infiltrating their conversations? I don't think so.
So, okay. They went after him last night, that's for sure.
Can I just play one more very quick part of something Christie said?
There's a fat man in a tie. I want to hear what he has to say.
And look, the tie's
I
off
know.
center.
Why can't you fix your tie?
Yeah.
That was driving me nuts last night.
He probably, you know why? I'll tell you why. He throws it over his shoulder when he's eating. He's so used to throwing that tie over his shoulder when he's eating, he forgets that it's askew.
Big bowl of mashed potatoes.
And using it as a napkin to wipe some gravy off his chin. Why is his tie like that? Christie, what are you doing?
He doesn't mean it.
He doesn't
But
mean it.
isn't there somebody with him right before he walks out on stage just to check him?
Yeah, but they're too busy, like, prodding and poking him and making sure he doesn't break the chain on his foot. It's an elephant joke. Good one. They're right for the body shaming.
Well,
if I ever wonder why I can't get my head above that ceiling. Always the easy jokes.
I hit it.
Has been betrayed.
Huh?
We've been betrayed by the leadership that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton have provided to this country over the last number of years. Think about just what's happened today.
His fucking haircut, he looks like every fucking guy who hits his wife in 1960. That haircut is enraging. That is a perfect, I beat my wife in the fucking don't say a word, honey, hairdo.
He could be on the Honeymooners with a haircut
That's
like
exactly, that's a Gleason haircut.
It's oh, God. I'm starting to think that people think Obama is shit. I'm starting to think that.
Yeah, there seems to be some politically motivated statements.
People think he's shit and has done a horrendous job with this country.
Yeah, I was shocked by that too.
Hit play.
District in America, in Los Angeles, closed based on a threat. Think about the effect that that's going to have on those children when they go back to school tomorrow. Wondering, filled with anxiety about whether they're really going to be safe.
That's the annoying part about Chris Christie. I like this guy, but stop getting into the minds of the average Joe. You fucking have, what do you have, 2%? It's not working.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear that shit.
You don't have the average Joe vote yet.
Oh, it's awful. Fuck those kids being scared. Some douche panic because they got a bad email.
Right.
Fuck them.
They have to worry about threats every single day, and for whatever reason out there in L.A., they at the time, they thought, wow, this is one we got to take seriously.
Right.
In the 80s, he would have been saying, you know, there's a man who's drinking and he's a white kid wearing a Kango and he's calling in a bomb threat somewhere and he's watching the school be cleared. I did that in the 80s. I cleared the fucking school with a bomb threat.
Man.
Not healthy emotionally, maybe. I was drunk.
What were the consequences?
None. They didn't know who it was. There was no Star 67 back then or Star 69 or whatever it is.
So you got away with it?
Yeah.
Totally?
Yes. We called for my friends. It was the same.
No, I know the story, but I always thought you got punished for it or something.
No, I never got caught for that. I've done it more than once. I only remember the school being emptied once.
Yeah.
And seeing them in the parking lot. And, we used to call the nuns, and I used to always say that I was being abused. It was like 10 of us drunk giggling around the house, and they would just love it. I would just call and go, yeah, I'm the older man just having sex with. I forget what I would say. I was drunk.
God, wow.
And these nuns would take the call.
Yeah.
It was like an abuse hotline.
Yeah.
And I would just make my friends, and of course at the end I would just blow it. You fucking bitch nun, hang up. I didn't know how to end a call. It was like an SNL sketch that I didn't know how to fucking wind it down, so just.
But you would sit there and watch the school empty out?
Only that one time I can remember, and it's a vague memory because I was drunk, but I remember I can remember looking through the trees wherever we were. I guess the house could see the back of the school parking lot, and seeing the students in the parking lot.
Did that get you off a little bit?
Oh my God, it was everything I had ever wanted. I felt Jimmy Norton finally mattered.
Domestic terrorist.
Wow. Yeah.
It was, yeah.
That's pretty much, yes.
But at the time, you're not
thinking. You
thinking.
would be in a lot of trouble if you did that nowadays.
Dude, I would have been kicked out of school. And you weren't thinking in that time about like what it meant, the implications of it. You were just thinking about being funny for your dumb friends when you were, although I was like a junior or senior in high school, there was no excuse.
Yeah, you should have stopped drinking at 17 like you did.
Yeah,
I'm not going to question that anymore because that has confused me over the years. That how does someone know at 17 that it's time to put down the alcohol? Yeah. I get it. I get it.
When you call in bomb threat, like when your idea of fun is like urinating all over the handle of your friend's fucking bathroom sink, it's just not normal behavior. Everyone else would like get drunk.
That's pretty normal for
I think so.
For a junior and a senior.
Okay, maybe it is.
I think that's more normal behavior than calling in a bomb threat.
Bomb threat was more antisocial.
What was your angle that they actually took you seriously and everyone left the school?
I'll never forget what I said. I can paraphrase what I said.
Yeah.
The ending statement, and this is probably what got them, is I said, if you think this is a joke, then start laughing.
Wow. Oh my God, you're a villain.
You're an evil villain.
You're an evil villain, and that was your catchphrase.
I literally
was that going to be your catchphrase?
All I needed to do was go.
Diabolical laugh. Diabolical laugh.
I was a hack. I was a hack bomb threader. But back then, again, it was. I'm going to get 85, maybe 86. It was just a different world then. It was a different.
I love that you had a catchphrase.
Yeah, I love it. And it wasn't happening every 10 minutes, so they probably just didn't know. And that one, they probably got them all the time.
Were you hoping to fight Batman someday?
I just want it to be important. I want it to be Jimmy Norton who mattered.
Were you hoping they'd give you a nickname?
Yes, I was.
It's that guy again.
Oh no, it's the Mad Joker, the Mad Jester. Because Joker was taken.
Yeah, Joker's taken. You can't use that.
Bomb Jester calls. School responds.
What was the final line again?
And if you think this is a joke, or if you think I'm joking, then start laughing. And I can't believe, credit to the friends, because now nobody keeps a fucking secret. Back then, nobody ratted me out. I never had any problem with that. Normal now, this would be, somebody would talk about it, somebody would Facebook about it, and you'd be fucked. But back then, nobody said a word.
And they just had to deal with it, because they never found out who did it.
Yeah, and I'm sure they forgot about it a week later.
Did they interrogate anybody? Do you remember?
I literally know nothing else about it, except people talking about it briefly. It's a very foggy memory.
Would you get off on the fact that when you were back at school that you could hear people just sort of talking about the bomb threat from the day before?
I'm sure I did, but I don't remember.
Okay.
What I remember that happening is when I was in rehab and I wrote the poem and I left it.
Yeah.
And I could hear people talking about the poem. Because I wasn't drunk when I did that, and I'm very.
What was the poem again?
It's just not good. It was about me and alcohol.
Is that the one you brought in?
Yes, it was. And Kevin Smith read it. I put it in Happy Endings in my first book. And Kevin Smith, we had read it in here. It was so awful.
Yeah.
It really was the poetry of a douche.
Well,
I was 17.
You were trying to get some emotions out.
Yes, I was. In rhyme form.
What the hell is that? News gets real. We might have to look at that a little later.
Hi, Derek.
This is an ADD radio show. We got too many TVs on. You get distracted really quickly. Stunt Brain, hold on. I know you're on hold.
One more sentence.
Yeah, let's go with the Governor Christie thing for another moment here.
Think about the mothers who will take those children tomorrow morning to the bus stop.
Can he stop it?
Wondering whether their children will arrive back on that bus safe and sound. Think about the fathers
I don't want
of Los
to.
Angeles. Tomorrow we'll head off to work.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I forgot about this.
Regular guy shit. Stop it.
No. You're missing the huge point here. Governor Christie is basically telling America that the fathers still go to work and the moms bring the kids to school.
That's right.
That is going to hurt them a little bit. Twitter exploded. What the fuck year is this, Mr. Christie?
Meanwhile, they know what he means. Now they're just harping on,
But that whole, breaking it down to that father or that mother, I don't think that strategy is working for him.
It's failing horrendously. He literally would do better if he was just doing chip jokes up there. He couldn't do any worse.
Right.
Fucking bomb. What, are they going to tell bad jokes? Mr. Trump, back to you. Couldn't do any worse than what he's doing.
Could you finish this up?
And wonder about the safety of their wives and their children.
As the man goes to work and earns an honest living.
He keeps trying to go for these moments where he's sincere, and his attempts, it's cringe-inducing.
Yeah.
I wish somebody, if we ever interview him, I swear to God, I'll tell him that. Please, you're a smart guy. Please stop doing that. Everyone hates it.
I think we should be interviewing a few of these guys.
Why not? We can't do any worse than when you have 6% coming on this radio show. What's he going to do, knock you to 5?
Yeah. We used to, how many times have we talked to Trump over the years? At least a dozen?
3?
Oh, more than that. Oh God. We go way back with, I was going to say about 10 to 12 times. Maybe that's a little high. We've talked to him a lot, though. And then he runs for the presidency, and then we're pretty much the only people he's not talking to.
We're on the pay no mind list.
Exactly. How does this end?
Just same crap.
All right, you're done with it? Okay.
More dreck.
Let's go to our pal Stunt Brain, who knows a little bit more about this shit than we do. That's your introduction there, sir. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. You guys know a lot, but I think you missed something that a lot of the internet was irate about with Christie's statement, and he did have a pretty good night.
Two girls, one tie. Is that what
I missed that one.
We got a split screen of Chris Christie and Jackie Gleason, and he's got the Jackie Gleason haircut.
Is that Reginald Van Gleason? Is that the character? I forget. I don't know who he's doing in that. It's a Jackie photo. Can't you find one without a mustache? There's got to be one without a mustache.
Yeah, I found one.
The one Jackie photo you find, he's got a fucking mustache.
No, I found one where the hair was the best.
I think the hair is right on. I'm not as worried about the mustache.
The mustache.
He definitely looks like he could be his cousin or something in the Honeymooners.
Yeah.
Continue, Stunt Brain.
Okay, he had a big night last night. He's strong night, but when he called Obama feckless and it slammed Obama's leadership, the internet went nuts with people posting the picture of Christie hugging him and walking on the beach with him after Superstorm Sandy.
See, it's kind of not fair because I respected Chris Christie a lot when he was able to work with the other side back then. But now he's he's pushing the agenda that, Obama just sucks. And it's like, Chris, you know, at the time when Jersey needed him, he was there for you. So it's really strange that he's taking that angle on it.
Yeah, and it just shows that he's pure politics, that he's doing what everybody else is doing here. But he did make a big connection, apparently, got good ratings for tying his thoughts right to the camera and not to the moderator. So people felt like he was talking to them.
Oh, who falls for that shit? That stupid sincerity. The father's going to take his little girl to work.
Yeah. Well, we see it differently, Stunt Brain, because I was also checking out the Twitter feed with the GOP debate hashtag, and people were creeped out. They're like, why is Christie staring at me?
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I like that.
They were a little creeped out. They're like, God, I think he's talking to me directly. I don't like this. He's staring at me.
It's just nonstop.
He's looking at me like a roast turkey. But he did have a good night though overall. But guess who had the biggest night in terms of Twitter increase?
Lyle C.
I'm gonna go for a real guess. I'm going for the real guess. Rand Paul.
I'm going to say Jared Fogle.
Strong night for Rand. I doubt for Jared. But Twitter says the candidate who picked up the most followers last night was Bernie Sanders. That for whatever reason, Sanders had a huge spike last night during the GOP debate, which makes you wonder if the GOP's not working social media hard enough.
He's got a little momentum, this Bernie Sanders. I've been paying attention.
Yeah, and he's getting a big push now from the black community. There's a documentary coming out from Killer Mike, the rapper, who spent some time with Bernie, and he's been doing big fundraisers for him as well. So while the GOP is having its big night, Bernie was having quite a night too.
Let me tell you something about Killer Mike. I've seen him. They're using him on a lot of these news shows. It's hard to listen to what he has to say because his name is Killer Mike. If he wants to talk more politics, can he use his birth name or something? It's a distraction.
Yeah, well, the community knows him, and I think that's what they're pushing for. And you're right; it does kind of look funny when you see the lower third on TV.
Yeah,
it says, "Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Killer Mike."
And one of the it might have been Wolf or one of them. They were uncomfortable with the fact this Killer Mike was saying intelligent things, and they had to say, But your name's Killer Mike, and
his real name's Mike Hitler, so they had to.
Oh, so then Killer Mike goes.
So to be good egg, Mike.
So then Killer Mike goes. Look, I just want everyone to know my name's Killer Mike because I kill it on the microphone. And that was uncomfortable too.
Well, and the guy named Wolf is criticizing Killer Mike.
I don't know if it was Wolf.
I got a Wolf.
Wolf was the go-to guy. I'm not sure. It could have been Brooke Baldwin for all I know. I don't know.
But you wonder, you guys talked about the early debate, and that was fun.
The JV debate?
Wasn't it
the
fun
JV squad?
Lindsey Graham was losing his mind last night.
Yeah, but I respect him in a way because he's just letting it all out there now. He knows he has nothing to lose.
Yeah. And
no one respects no one wants a president with a girl name. I'm sorry. Just don't. Lindsay's a girl's name. I don't want a male president with a girl's name. I don't want it's embarrassing. ISIS will kill us for that.
Do you think he even has a chance? He's a bachelor, too. He's a lifelong bachelor.
I can relate to that. Somebody likes sucking cock.
Oh, what's that about, you think? Oh.
I don't think that would work on a bumper sticker, Jimmy.
You kidding me? I'd buy it. Why not? Just don't put it on your own car. Put it on someone else's car.
A lifetime bachelor for this Lindsey Graham, huh?
Confirmed bachelor. He says he's trying to figure out who would be his first lady. He's talking about having some sort of contest. But he's big foreign policy, big tough guy talk. He always wants to hit everybody hard. And when he went on his little rant saying how much he missed George W. Bush, it was.
Oh, that's right.
I thought that was entertaining.
Yeah, I forgot. He got a nice applause break for that or something.
He did, but our online polling, which I think is over almost 50,000 votes now, have Trump tied with Cruz as taking last night.
Oh, my God. I would love to have Cruz as president. He's such a fine actor. Boo, Jim.
CNN right there. Trump versus Cruz. Who won? So,
Terry Crews?
So CNN is saying it's down to those two.
Yeah, it was a big night for Cruz. Can he sustain it all the way to February 1st in Iowa? It's a long ways away, so we'll see. But Rubio also had a solid night. He and Cruz looked like a ticket at times when they kept running the split screen of the two of them going back and forth.
Why is Rubio's ears so big? He's too young. He's too young to have big, huge, droopy ears. What's going on there?
I have to investigate this one. I never noticed the ears.
See, you're writing about the wrong stuff at the Blaze. I want to know why Rubio's ears are so fucking big.
What's up
They're
with
big
Rubio's
and droopy
ears today on the Blaze? Well, we should compare ear size on all of them.
Yeah, no, Rubio might have the biggest ears of all of them. So, what do you think of Trump? He wasn't talking a lot of policy last night.
He never does.
I know he doesn't, but don't you think it's time he's got to do that? Because these guys, they're discussing policy and what they would do and what they have done, and then they go to Trump, and then Trump, for the most part, he's kind of bullying everyone around him. He bullies the media. He bullies his fellow candidates.
The back and forth you just played with Jeb showed that Trump addressed every one of Jeb's complaints or questions by insulting him. He didn't give a specific answer with a policy or an idea on how to deal with it. And when they finally pressed him on him closing the Internet, which was kind of bizarre, he really doesn't have a grasp of how the Internet works.
No, he was trying to climb out of that one because he absolutely said he would close parts of the Internet, and then he tried to say, well, no, I mean we would infiltrate so we know exactly what they're up to.
Yeah, he's at times it appears like he's making it up as he goes along when he gets confronted on a statement because he's off script a lot. He doesn't have a lot of specifics, whereas the rest of them do.
Well, when does that start hurting him? Because a lot of people know that point. But when are the true voters going to start really paying attention to that? And will he start dropping in the polls if he doesn't really start talking strategy and policy?
It depends on what the big topic moves away from, or for the people. Right now, it's terrorism. The number one.
Well, it's called terrorism, not terrorism. Get back to you.
Gallup's big poll right now says that's the number one fear in Americans' minds. It's not the economy. That's like a distant second or third, but it is terrorism. And Trump goes out there and speaks so clearly, and we're going to get him, we're going to take him out, and so people rally behind it.
Sure.
I think you're going to see mid-January a real firming up of those top three. Ooh. Trump, it looks like he's not going to win Iowa, and you'll have to see what that does to him because it may kind of take him off course.
I've had enough of Iowa. We stopped giving a fuck about just Iowa and Ohio. What a dumb country. Who gives a fuck? Sick of Iowa. I've never been there.
The tour's not going there, Jimmy?
No.
It's not a bad place. It's just a little flat and boring.
You should probably have brought the tour to Iowa, and then you would have an appreciation for their fine state.
I don't get it. We always say, they're going to see what they do in Iowa and New Hampshire. Fucking cares.
Well, let me ask Stunt Brain, why Iowa?
Well,
I really don't know. Why is Iowa so important, and when did that start?
It's first, and it's long been considered one of those states that represents a lot of other states. The same with New Hampshire. So you have a northeast state, New Hampshire, that's not a typical Democratic northeast state. So it represents a broader spectrum. Same with Iowa. You've got a Midwest state, typically red, but it's also a caucus. It's not just like a voting. People go and sit around in a room on the caucus night, and they vote as a caucus for a candidate.
As a what?
As a caucus. and so those are important early bellwethers. I think you look at Iowa, South Carolina can be thrown in there, and New Hampshire, and those will kind of give you an idea where momentum's going. And Cruz looks strong in 2 out of 3 right now.
Okay. And what about the moment of silence by Ben Carson?
Well, you're bringing up Patton Oswalt's brother's tweet was pretty good. It was a little brief for me. If you're going to do it, commit to it.
Yeah.
How long is a moment, though? How long is a moment supposed to be?
His was only 4 seconds. I counted it.
That's 4 seconds longer than I'd have given them.
He did not have a great night last night.
He's done. Right? He's done.
Stinks.
I think he's on a big slide right now, and he's on a downward slide.
He is right into Al Roker's arms. He's fucking stinks.
But the polling showing him slipping. He's dropped 10 or 13 points in just the last month, and most of that because of his foreign policy or lack of knowledge in that area. That's why when he closed, he said, I've been to 58 countries, and they all try and get their street cred out there.
I think his delivery is turning people off now. He whispers basically,
and he's going to keep his evangelical base because they love him.
Yeah,
and they'll do whatever they can for him. But I think he's peaked, and you probably won't see much past early April with him.
Okay, one more thing. Neil in Texas, he's on the phone. I don't have time, but he wants to say this. Stunt Brain is missing a really important part when Rubio called out Trump for not knowing about the nuclear triad.
Yeah, we just hadn't gotten to it. You had Rubio showing Trump the nuclear triad, the 3 ways we're capable of launching nuclear weapons. They're all going to try and expose Trump's lack of knowledge in specific areas. And when you're a senator, you have to know this stuff. When you're Trump, you just try and say, well, I'll get the right people. And we're going to hire the best people, the greatest people. But he's right, and you saw Rubio take Trump to class on that one last night.
Yeah. All right. And final thoughts? Anything else?
Good night for Rand. I don't know if it's enough to keep him rolling and going, and I don't think we see a pre-show debate next time. I think the next debate you're just going to see the maybe top 9, top 8.
Who's the next person to bail out of the race?
If you asked me Monday, I would have said Rand.
Right.
That was the rumor, but I think he's back in. I look at Kasich or maybe, all 4 on the lower ticket, but I think Kasich's in the worst spot right now.
I kind of like Kasich. I don't know.
He's a middle guy.
I kind of like him.
His ace is that you need Ohio.
Yeah.
So you kind of need to keep him around. Nobody's going to win the presidency without winning Ohio's electoral votes.
Damn Ohio.
The fact that he's reasonable makes him seem bland because everybody else is insane.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, in an insane society, even a sane man must appear insane.
Whoa.
Wow. Wow.
Is that going to be on the test?
That's right.
I hope not.
That's what it says, Star Trek.
And Carly Fiorina.
Yeah, it wasn't a good night for Carly last night.
Are you allowed to say twatty on the Blaze?
No.
Okay, just asking.
No, but it wasn't a good. Yeah, she I think hurt herself on 2 parts.
Yeah, the fact that her last name sounds like dog food and she's unattractive. Could that be it? That awful combination.
Different ones. Those are interesting, but different ones.
Are you allowed to say cold-hearted bitch on the Blaze? Because
I think we have.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if that describes her. But
she's got ice in her veins, man.
Yeah, well, she was a CEO of a pretty big company. You got to have
good for her.
Some ice to run that kind of company. But when she begged for time, I thought she looked weak.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you interrupt, that always makes it seem uncomfortable.
Yeah,
she kept interrupting people, and I just think that's desperate.
Yeah, that's a woman for you. It's like we say around this program: women should be seen and not heard.
Or take the kids to school.
That's right. And give them a bath. Take the kids to school, give them a bath. Change that diaper, honey.
Chris Christie making it about the individual. That strategy is not working. I know other politicians have used it in the past, and it sort of works, but he's just pushing it too much.
Well, it worked about 3 weeks ago in a bar when he gave a speech about drug addiction.
Yeah.
And he saw a huge spike.
Yeah.
But it seems to work on the small stage, not on the big debate stage.
All right. And, Eric, what's that tweet you got up on the screen there?
It's another Matt Oswald tweet. John Kasich reminds me of the guy who brings a Burger King Whopper onto a Southwest Airlines flight and eats it with his shoes off.
That's pretty good.
He had a good night, Matt Oswald.
He had a very good night.
Matt Oswald won the night. There you go.
He was right on with his tweets last night. So, all right, Stunt Brain, I think we did it. Unless you got anything else, but I think we did it.
No, that's the big thing. We'll keep an eye. The only other one comment. Trump reaffirmed on several times on several different shows and on the debate stage, he will not be a third-party candidate, and that's huge news.
Yeah, he said it last night too, right?
Yeah, he said it on the stage and on 2 different shows afterwards, so that will be a big sigh of relief for the GOP.
I made it to about 10:30, so I missed like the last 20 minutes or so, but all right, Stunt Brain, always a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
From the Blaze, he does a very good job over there.
Thank you.
All right,
Mike.
There goes Mikey. And then what was one last thing? What was the Chris Matthews thing and the uncomfortable interview with Trump? We got a little piece of that, and then we can wrap this up. Move on to other things today.
Yep.
All right. Chris Matthews talked to Trump after the debate. I heard this is pretty good. I did not see it last night, so let me check this out. Mediate.
Is Donald Trump honest when he says that Barack Obama isn't a legitimate president?
So I knew you were
that's a good question because
I didn't say you couldn't. I didn't say you couldn't. I knew you
can't stop me
because I should really no I can't. I should not tell you this, but I do watch you a lot. So I knew you were going to ask that question.
Well, because
and you know what I'll say? I don't talk about that anymore. You know the problem with talking about
get
that
to answer the questions you like.
By the way, this guy is a total professional, I have to tell you.
So, okay.
Here's the story. I don't answer because you know what? If I do answer it, that's all people want to talk about.
You're going to have to answer it in a general election. You're going to have to answer it in a general election.
Well,
you're going to take the Oval Office?
Then I'll
answer the president leaving the office is illegitimate?
But I don't answer that question because once I answer the question, they don't want to talk about the economy. They don't want to talk about all the other.
We Catholics believe in confession. You say you were wrong and you move on.
Okay.
You really believe this guy's an illegitimate president?
I'm 100% with Chris Matthews on this. 100%. You know, if you went out there and talked about it that much, say you're wrong and then move on, or say you still believe it.
Yeah. You can't avoid it.
Yeah. Can't avoid it. You gotta say it.
Did you have a good time? Was it a good interview?
What, this? Well, I want you for a longer time, but thank you, Mr. Trump.
We'll do it again. I would love
Trump,
to.
I do think that's a blemish. I think it's your original.
No, I know how you feel.
Because I'm an American, I think our president should be respected.
I understand.
And I think there's a little ethnic aspect to it. I don't like it.
Okay, well,
he's African American, and we're saying he's not a real president. I don't like that.
That's annoying. That's annoying. That's not what it's about. When they were questioning where it's from.
I mean, MSNBC definitely takes that angle.
Yeah. You had me and you lost me. Oh, Chris, how could you?
Well, let's see if he brings you back in the last 17 seconds.
Think about you.
All right. Well,
but you're a mixed bag.
We'll just keep quiet.
I am allowed to say you're a mixed bag.
I understand.
Thank you. Thank you for coming over here. Thank you.
He didn't want to answer that fucking question. That's a week.
We'll have you for an hour. We'll get back to Penn.
We'll do it.
We've got a ward.
Can they stop trying to wrap it up funny and nice? Can they stop with that fucking nonsense? Hey, we'll have you back. All right, you said it. I heard you. Wink, wink. Shut up. Holy fucking shit, is this whole fucking political climate annoying. God almighty, I don't want to answer that question. We'll get you back. All righty. Wink, wink.
Everything has to be wrapped up all nice.
Stop wrapping everything up into a fucking package so you can throw it a break, you cunts.
Well, don't forget the bow, too. You need the bow on top.
Holy shit, it drives me nuts.
7 seconds. Let's see if there's more of that.
We'll pay for the whole thing.
The cathedral, right?
That's right. Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you. No, thank you. Had a good time. Good to see you. You're back. What's your question? I ain't answering it. Good to see you. Had fun. No, you didn't. You hated him for asking you that question, and you hated him for not answering.
Yes. Well, but he's going to come back for a whole hour.
And by the way, that is fucking embarrassing that he won't answer that question.
If Chris Christie, if Chris Matthews gets Trump for an hour, wow, that is must-see TV.
It'll be bullshit. He'll fucking won't answer the question, and then Christie will move on. Yes, I mean, and then Matthews will move on. It'll be nonsense.
Chris Matthews, yeah. All right. And that was the debate last night. It was very entertaining.
They just tried to scare the crap out of everyone. I mean, that always happens in the debates.
There's a little term for that. It's called fear-mongering.
Mongering?
I think you pronounced it right.
All right. Well,
mongering.
It just seemed like a lot. It seemed like that we're...
Well, it was mostly on the foreign policy.
The first half was ISIS. It was all ISIS. How are we going to stop? We have people in our country that are going to kill us at any second. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Obama sucks.
Yeah. Heard that a lot last night. No one respects him and what he's done whatsoever. They all hate his guts. Right? The whole thing is just silly. I love it, though. It's entertaining as all hell. I never watched this shit as much as I have lately.
I never did either.
It's so entertaining. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to get into some other things. Rollins saw Star Wars last night.
He did.
Is he the only one on staff that got to see it?
I believe so, yes.
He loved it. He said he cried.
Yeah.
It was very emotional.
So
he stayed awake the whole time, he said.
He's telling us that. I don't know.
Well, Roland crying. I don't know if it probably was just the top of his forehead was sweating and he misinterpreted it as sadness and emotion. These things are like, I'm crying, just sweating.
Let's get his review on Star Wars.
Here he comes.
Well, I mean, we got to take a break.
Well, it'll take a while.
Well, no, yeah. You got time.
Oh, all right. After the break, we're going to talk to Roland a little bit about Star Wars.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Melissa Harris Perry saying Star Wars is racist.
And she's right.
We got the clip.
She's a good woman.
We got Mark Norman coming in today. And a little later, we got Quentin Tarantino.
Very excited.
And Henry Rollins. So another busy, busy show. So stay there.
We're back. We're back with Opie and Jimmy.
Oh, we are back with Mark Norman as well. What's up, Mark?
Holy hell, it's been years, it feels like.
Good morning to you.
Good to be back. I've missed you.
We asked for you.
Oh, really?
Sometimes I guess it just doesn't match up or whatever.
Yeah, I've been on the road with the arena tour with the Schumer.
How's that going?
Oh, it's great. Yeah. She is really pulling out all the stops on this one.
Yeah, you got to get me the paper because the Schooms is in the paper today.
Is that right?
She talked to Barbara Walters, and it was pretty fucking funny exchange.
Really?
I got to read it word for word, yes.
A lot of sexual stuff.
Well, she was asking Barbara Walters if she ever faked an orgasm.
Oh, well, that's clear.
Schooms. I want to read it. I got to find it. But anyway, the tour's going well.
What'd Barbara say?
That's what I'm trying to find. Here we go. Fresh from blah, blah, blah. Okay. When Walters asked this sexually explicit comic if she ever fakes orgasms, Schumer went into predictable graphic detail, but she turned the tables on Walters 86. Have you ever faked it? Walters shot back, I'm not going to tell you. Asked why, Walters declared, because I have this image of myself as being dignified and so on. Schumer said, I think I'm dignified. I just did a press conference on gun control. Walters said, I have to tell you that doing an interview with you is not exactly like interviewing Henry Kissinger.
Oh.
Was she mad at her or was she joking with her?
I don't know.
I think she was joking.
I think it seems like Barbara was having a little fun with it.
Oh,
I would imagine.
God bless her at that age.
Didn't she? She used to hook up with a lot of...
I was going to say.
Married senator or some shit.
Right.
She used to fuck that guy, black guy.
Barbara Walters.
Really?
I believe so, yeah.
Ooh, and she didn't fake it.
Barbara Walters had some action back in the day. So.
Yeah, good for her.
She was banging like Gaddafi or somebody. One of those guys.
I don't
Arafat.
Was she? Arafat.
She fucked Arafat?
Yeah, that was a big thing.
I've never heard that.
How do you know this, Mark?
I've heard that was like a talk of the town.
The talk of the town?
I never heard that.
On Bourbon Street down there in... we got to look that up now.
You get to a barbershop, guys start talking.
Yeah. They start talking about this shit, huh?
Good for Babs.
Yeah, Babs, Babs got it in.
Yeah.
She got it in a few times.
I would.
No.
The young Babs?
Young Babs.
Let me look at young Babs. That's rough.
That is pretty rough. There's Arafat.
She was never a looker, man.
I literally don't know which one of them I'd fuck first.
Oh, my God, really?
It's her and Arafat and some guy in a fucking awful 70s mustache. Probably 1975.
Looks like Kenny.
Yeah.
Wow, she was never a looker,
No,
huh?
she was terrible.
No, she's like a bad Streisand.
She looks like the crazy lady in a 50s movie. Like, she looks like the portrayal of an insane old woman.
Right.
Yeah, that's not good. But the Schooms made, 2015 Most Fascinating People or one of those?
Yeah.
He's on the cover of People.
Right.
She's on the cover of People magazine too.
This, I guess, are they weekly or monthly?
I think this Amy Schumer's going to be big. I think she's going to be big.
Kid's doing all right. Did you see her nude photo?
I did.
Or panties, I guess.
I did, with the high heels and the cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah. I had to say, I was like, this is better than I thought.
It was all right.
Yeah.
I found one more clip from the debate I forgot that I want to play for Jimmy. Fiorina. Did you watch the debate last night, Mark Norman?
No, I can't do politics.
That's what I used to say, but this is like a circus.
Yeah.
Don't you enjoy a good circus? A good sideshow?
Nah, I hate the circus too.
Yeah. Except when they hit the animals. That's the only part I like.
Yeah, that's fun.
You know how miserable those animals' lives are? All right, give me a ticket.
Christie got loose last night and took out like 10, 20 people in the audience.
Right.
They had to get the trainers.
Yeah.
To get them back on that stage for the debate.
Do they still do the line with the chair and the whip? Is that over?
Oh, wow. Yeah, they kind of do it.
All right.
But my info is about 2 or 3 years old now.
Yeah.
I went to the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Uh-huh.
And I was just bothered by the elephants. I'm becoming a fucking pussy.
Right. Don't they walk those across Times Square or something?
Through
at 2
the tunnel.
Through
They
the
used to
tunnel.
walk them through the Battery Tunnel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they have to pay a toll. I'm being cute.
I'm being cute. But Fiorina said something about being a woman last night that, wow, what is this headline? Fiorina clearly meant bitch or perhaps bossy, in any case, a gender.
She's been called every B word. That's what she said in her opening statement.
Okay. Is this about Margaret Thatcher?
No.
You didn't find the Margaret Thatcher one?
For it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You got to find the whole Margaret Thatcher thing.
Yep.
She told the boys something last night.
With the boys.
The boys on that stage, basically, when you need a job done, you call a woman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was basically kind of quoting Margaret Thatcher.
Right.
Is this it? Let's try it real fast.
Watching football.
Oh, my God, a commercial.
Did she quote Margaret Thatcher early in her life or towards the end when she still thought she was seeing her dead husband?
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Margaret Thatcher went a little nuts.
I forgot that she had a little...
Yeah.
She went a little batshit crazy.
Yeah, she lost her mind.
Yes, she did.
Where are you going? She's talking to an apple.
We could get Roland as you find the clip. Roland went and saw Star Wars last night, Mark Norman.
Yeah, he said it's the best movie he's ever seen.
Really?
That's what he told me in the hallway.
Are you a Star Wars guy?
I like the first three, yeah. I'm not really a Star Wars guy.
Like a geek. You just appreciate a good movie.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Like I'll eventually see Star Wars, and I'm sure I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
It seems like I'm going to enjoy the movie, but I don't need to see it anytime soon.
I want to see it on a screen, though, in 3D. That's how I want to see it.
Oh, is it 3D?
Is it?
It's
wow.
IMAX 3D.
I like that.
It was
Yeah.
awesome. You'll laugh, cheer, and cry.
All right.
You cry because someone dies. Who dies?
Nor you cry of happiness too. It's so good.
Who dies?
I'm not saying you.
I don't want to hear a thing.
That means someone dies. Oh, boy.
Or not.
Oh, no. Maybe. I want to know who dies.
Who dies?
I hope C-3PO doesn't get all rusty.
he has a red arm in the film, right? I saw that in the trailer.
I don't want to know anything.
It's in the trailer.
I don't care. I didn't see the trailer.
It's so good, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's one of the best ones. J.J. Abrams.
What makes it so good, though? Just how it's filmed?
The whole story. From the filming, the story, tons of action scenes.
Okay.
And then even the new characters you love, too.
There are new characters, huh?
Does one have the initials JJB? I certainly hope so.
No, BB-8.
I miss him.
No, it's really good. And then you go to Jakku, the new planet. It's really awesome.
Jakku.
There's a new planet called Jakku.
Yeah.
Bless you.
You learn about Jakku.
Bless you.
We learn about Jakku.
Yes. Okay. And then Ray, Finn, all the new characters.
What's the new planet?
Jakku.
God bless you.
There you
Keep
go.
doing it. It's going to keep bombing, and I'm going to keep doing it. Why?
Jakku.
What makes Jakku so cool?
That's where the girl Ray...
It's Esther's brother.
Nice.
Nice. Mark just goes nice.
That's where the girl Ray is from.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really good. She's awesome.
And you stayed awake?
Wide awake.
Wide awake.
I took Eric had this new energy drink thing. You take it, and I had 2 coffees. I was like wired all night.
Roland.
Eric's got a new energy drink?
Oh,
Yeah.
Does he really?
Really?
Well, it worked for me.
What's the new energy drink?
I don't know. It's something like a 5-hour, but it's like, he said they're like vitamins or something. Be, what's it called? Be something.
Be fat and lazy.
I know.
Eric,
I forgot what's it called.
Eric says it's just 5 hour
energy.
It's just 5 hour energy?
Yeah, it's nothing new.
It's nothing new or special.
Kenny takes them once in a while when we're driving late at night. And I always know he's taking one because he'll start getting, because Kenny's never restless, but once in a while he'll get like a little restless as we're driving. It makes you very restless.
Yeah.
During a slow scene in the movie, I kicked over my iced coffee bottle and made a lot of noise, and my legs wouldn't stop shaking. I was like wired. I was like, woo!
Oh, really?
That's so exciting.
Roland's either completely asleep or like off the walls.
Yeah.
There's no in between with you.
No.
All right, well, which one is he now?
That's a good point.
And me, I'm fading now.
You're a little tired now?
Oh, hell yeah. I'll probably fall asleep in like 10 minutes or so.
The rise of pimple porn.
I'm more excited about the Hateful Eight.
That was good, too.
I saw.
What, you saw it?
Most of us did.
Oh, man, I'm jealous.
We got Tarantino coming in today.
I heard.
It's just awesome. I loved it.
Oh, boy, I can't wait.
And it doesn't matter. It's a little over 3 hours long. It just doesn't matter.
If it's good, keep it long.
How about this? 2 sets. 3 hours.
Sets.
That's it.
2 sets?
It's almost like it could easily be a play.
Oh, interesting.
2 sets. A stagecoach and then this...
2 sets.
2 sets.
Oh, wow.
See, it's easy to say Jakku.
And then what do they call them? What is it called, Travis? Help me out. The where they were all hanging. What the hell?
Oh.
Like some kind of depot that is outside of town. Travis doesn't have his headphones on.
So it's like a true Western.
It's awesome.
Oh, boy.
The language is great. A lot of N-bombs.
Ooh.
The characters are amazing. The violence is right there. The humor is right there. Yeah, you got the twists and the turns.
Jennifer Jason Leigh was badass.
Jennifer Jason Leigh?
Yeah.
She was all right. Yeah.
Did you see her in Fast Times? Huh?
Yeah.
She was all right in here yesterday. Kurt Russell kicked ass.
I think she's just a little shyer during interviews. And plus she's touring with a huge star. She's a very famous person, but he's one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. I mean,
she's also very introverted.
She's not made for going
a little quiet.
She's not like
she's probably better on her own. Sometimes when 2 actors come in together, they're not used to doing interviews with their peers, and they think it's going to be easier, but they just keep deferring to each other, like, oh, you know.
And he very easily takes over the room.
Yeah,
he's great, dude. He's a really good.
He's awesome.
So for her, he's probably a bit overwhelming,
right?
But maybe she's just terribly shy, and that's why they send her out with Kurt.
Yeah, she was fine. I mean, no problems, but Kurt Russell was awesome, though. And the Hateful Eight movies, you're gonna...
All right, I'm gonna definitely check it out.
And when we got the Fiorina clip?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Golly.
And I gotta go back to Barbara Walters really fast, because she says Bradley Cooper is screwable. Barbara Walters finds Bradley Cooper screwable.
I like that. Schumer opened her up.
I could just sit and stare at you, but that would take too much time, Walters told Cooper. But I find you very screwable.
Screwable. God. Such a weird term.
She added, I think you're handsome. I think you're sexy. And when asking the Joy star, I'm hearing good things about this Joy movie, too. If he knows just how attractive he is. Cooper didn't reciprocate, but he did appreciate the sentiments. Thank you. I think that I've grown to stop thinking about it, but sometimes I feel better than others. Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with feeling comfortable with yourself. He knows he's fucking screwable and that every woman wants him.
He's just trying to tell this 86-year-old woman to keep her dried vag in her seat because she has 0 shot. You know, you're so screwable that I looked down and my vagina had a droplet on it, and normally it has the texture of an ear. Her pussy looks like a folded ear. You lick her pussy, it tastes and looks like a folded ear. It smells like dandruff.
She cleans the labia with a Q-tip. Oh, God.
Yeah. That pussy is horrid.
The doctor puts that thing in it to hear it.
Oh, my God.
Occasionally, it doesn't get wet anymore, but there might be a little oil on it. Like, you know, your ear gets sweaty and it stinks.
Yeah. He's got to hit it with a cotton ball.
Yeah, just from flesh rubbing together.
Have you seen Bradley Cooper's girlfriend?
No.
Ooh, what a dime.
What a dime, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is she only 10?
Is this the clip? This might be the clip.
Yeah, this might be it.
All right,
I'm listening to it. I don't want to play the wrong clip.
All right, that's fine. That's it for Star Wars, I guess. Roland got to see it, and he loved it. It's hard to talk about it because you don't want to give away too many.
Can't give anything away.
Right.
Why? When are you seeing it? You're a
Friday.
geek. Why are you waiting till Friday?
Because I couldn't get into a screening.
You don't know the right people.
It opens Friday.
This Friday?
Yeah.
Why don't you go on Thursday? It opens on Thursday.
Oh.
Yeah, it opens on Thursday.
I'm going Monday.
That's after me.
I know.
Yeah, but Travis is saying you could go Thursday. Why
I'm
Friday?
going Monday.
Well, what are you, a dork?
I'm taking my daughter for her birthday on Friday.
That's great. What a gift. Movie Daddy wants to see.
She knows.
I'm going Monday.
I was going to go alone, but she wanted to go.
I'm taking her to Scores on Tuesday.
That's funny, yeah.
It's my daughter you're talking about, man.
What a gift! A movie.
No, she wants to see it. I wouldn't drag her to it.
What a wonderful father.
How old is she?
10. She'll be 11.
All right.
She'll be 11.
But are they into the Star Wars at 10?
She wants to see this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
She
My
likes
daughter's into it at 6.
All right, because I know the Lego Star Wars got a lot of new young fans.
Oh, wow. That's cool. What are you going to take her to see next week? A one-act play, the Conrad Bain story?
I would see that.
I would totally see that.
She is the right age to see Spotlight.
Yeah, she's the perfect age. Perfect age. I'm taking her out of school early to see it.
And for them to be saying Spotlight might be the best movie of the year is fucking ridiculous. It was good, but it's not the best movie.
You didn't think so?
I liked it very much.
You loved it.
But not Best Picture.
Ex Machina?
I didn't see that.
Oh, I'd say that's
Oh,
the
no,
best.
I did see that. The Machine movie. Yes,
Yeah.
I did watch that.
Yeah.
That was very... I didn't realize that was this year.
Yeah, well, early, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the twist coming.
Mm-hmm.
The Machine takes little metal duties. Boo. Fucking boo.
Yeah,
Let me just soak in it. Okay.
All right.
But I did enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, that was great.
All right, we got the Fiorina clip.
Yes, you're gonna have to boost the audio on this.
This broad is cold, man.
Yeah.
She is cold.
Fucking bitch is so cold, she's like an icicle store.
Why would they sell icicles?
You heard?
Yeah.
Heard what I said?
To be held accountable over and over, not first-term senators who never made an executive decision in their life. One of the things I would immediately do, in addition to defeating them here at home, is bring back the warrior class. Petraeus, McChrystal, Mattis, Keene,
Not a bad
Flynn.
idea, by the
Every
way.
single one of these generals I know, every one was retired early
Not
because
a
they
bad
told
idea.
President Obama things that he didn't want to hear. We must have Sunni Arabs involved in this coalition. We must commit leadership, strength, support, and resolve. I'll just add that Margaret Thatcher once said, if you want something talked about, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman.
By the way, aren't all those generals she mentioned men?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so if you want some, what?
Yeah.
You want the legwork done, you get the men?
Yeah, it sounds
What
like...
about men's rights? Men are second-class citizens in this country.
I do believe those guys got a lot of things done, and they have penises.
Exactly.
And it's kind of
ma'am.
vague.
If it wasn't for cocks and balls, we wouldn't have AIDS, Carly. Go ahead.
That's true. Some guy fucked a monkey.
Absolutely.
She's a ma'am, right? That's how you describe her?
Ms.
Ma'am, yeah.
I go, ma'am.
Shrew.
Thank you, ma'am. Shrew. She's tough, man.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have a shot. She's pretty knowledgeable about the with the topics and stuff.
But it's so silly, because you could imagine if a guy said that, it would be like an uproar.
Yeah,
if you want to get
course.
something done, you got to get a man. Fuck
course.
these broads.
It kind of goes without saying, that's why.
Yeah, but, why can't she get away with it?
It's like saying if you want to make a phone call, you need the phone. Like, yeah, we know.
Right.
Of course you need a man to get things done. Look at her with her fucking tits almost showing. I like that little red.
Yeah.
Right down to her cleave. You fucking love it.
You find her attractive on any level?
Yeah, I mean, I'd fuck her
Really?
face. Sure, I'd hang her big, long, fucking Harry Dean Stanton head off the bed and fuck her in the mouth. I mean, that might be a respectful way to say it, but yeah, I would. I'd put that long half a moon face in my bed.
You'd call it
Yeah,
nude.
I can only
What's
see
that?
the top. It seems like the bottom half is a goat, like goat legs.
What's her problem, you think?
Well, she's just older, and she's a cranky woman, and she's running for president. That's a weird gig.
She's extremely cranky.
Yeah.
Doesn't really show much personality whatsoever.
Yes.
We got to go back to Star Wars. Melissa Harris Perry on MSNBC. She says Star Wars is racist.
What did she say?
And I don't think she was joking. And I know a lot of people have pushed toward the whole Kevin Smith thing because he kind of made this point.
Chasing Amy.
But I really think she meant it because she has never shown any sense of humor on her show. Mm-hmm. And she has a bad lisp.
Ah.
But I guess you're not really allowed to point that out these days. But,
right.
But it makes it hard to watch her.
Oh, okay.
All right, here's Melissa Harris Perry.
Interesting, because I know why I have feelings, good, bad, and otherwise, about Star Wars, and I have a lot. I spent the whole day talking about the whole Darth Vader situation. But
really?
You could? Yeah, like the part where he was totally a black guy whose name basically was James Earl Jones,
right.
And we were all, but while he was black, he was terrible and bad and awful, and used to cut off white men's hands, and didn't, actually claim his son. But as soon as he claims his son and goes over to the good, he takes off his mask and he is white. Oh yes, I have many feelings about that, but I will try to put them over here. Why do
Good
people...
luck with that.
Yeah.
It's Luke's father. He's got to be white.
Yes.
Absolutely. What are you, crazy?
That was the point that was made as soon as this clip kind of made the rounds yesterday.
But wait a minute. I don't know if she was kind of kidding there.
Travis.
No, she was 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm with Travis on this one, man.
She doesn't joke around.
No, but she
takes the racial stuff very seriously on her show.
The tone of that is it's almost... The tone of that didn't seem like, unless there's more here, that didn't seem very serious to me.
No, she was serious.
I think she was serious. And
I didn't think she was
that was kind of racist. She's like, come on, it's James Earl Jones. He's bad.
Right.
He's obviously black.
Right. What do you think, Eric?
I just, I think she's doing a bit.
You think she's doing a bit?
I think she's doing material.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think she's absolutely
She tries
serious.
to find racism
guys.
all the time.
She takes herself way too seriously.
I don't disagree.
Go back slightly.
About that, but I will try to put them over here. Why do
Good
people...
luck with that.
Yeah.
See, she's laughing, but I would put them over here. Like, there's something about that, but that's not important right now. There's something comic timing about that. I'm not saying it's a great joke.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason I'm saying it, is because you're listing all these things. Like, I'm not even going to comment. I went out with this girl, and she was really fat, and she had one club foot, but I'm not even going to talk about that. Her personality. It's like, that's the cadence of it.
But this guy's saying good luck with that. He kind of thinks she's being serious about it.
I thought he was kind of joking back with her. I don't know. Yeah, it's just my take on it. I mean, what do I know? MHP, I don't know her.
Whoa, let's play the last 5 seconds.
Star Wars so much?
Well, for one thing, I mean, we were talking...
Yeah, okay.
Uh-oh.
You thought she was doing a bit too, huh?
I definitely did.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's real.
I think it's real, too.
Because there's a lot of details there.
Oh, do tell.
She's really thought about it.
Yeah, she's really thought about it. I think she's really tried to back up her theory.
But there's white kids. Mm-hmm. Can't blow off the fact that there's white kids in this whole thing. Does she even know the story?
Exactly. Unless the mom's black.
Unless the mom is black.
Yeah, so we got to figure out.
Nah, but you fucking wouldn't get a white Luke, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed good boy.
True.
He was a good boy.
But what do they complain about? Jabba the Hutt was clearly a brother.
Yes. So.
Greedo was black.
Huh?
Greedo was black.
Greedo,
what a pull. Oh, boy.
What a pull.
I forgot that name.
You guys ever hear the controversy about Greedo and Han Solo and shooting first?
No.
Oh, yeah.
that was a whole thing. That was a big thing.
Yep.
What was the controversy?
Yeah.
That in the original, Greedo didn't shoot the gun, Han shot him. But Lucas changed it for some reason.
No?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Wow.
For some unknown reason, the chinless cartooner fucking changed it. Of course he did.
Aha.
Ugh, I can't stand him. Why? He just stinks, dude. That cantina scene, it's fucking horrendous.
Well, it doesn't hold up.
But then he added a whole bunch of new wacky guys to it.
That's why he sucks. He gave us one of the best films ever. Star Wars is a great film, and so it's the amazing. But he just, American Pie was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called? No, American Graffiti. Sorry.
Graffiti.
I apologize. Yeah.
Maybe it just doesn't hold up, that scene.
I hated it back then. I mean, Jabba is a big, fat, cartoonish monster thing. There's no true evil menace to it. The only one is Darth Vader that has a really great energy, and that's just because you can't see him. And James Earl Jones is. Imagine any other voice doing that; it wouldn't be good.
Probably wouldn't have worked as well.
Yeah.
The Force, you know.
Yeah.
A bunch of Force or something.
What about the Emperor?
Fuck yeah, it's coming. You bet that is. You're fricka.
Right.
Aww, how cute.
Looks like an OTB.
But they got rid of a bunch of those guys and added new ones.
Oh, good. I hated the fucking elephant.
This song used to be on the radio.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, this song, the Ewok song, was on the radio. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
New Hop.
What, like the pop stations, like CBS FM or something?
Yeah.
Here in New York?
Yeah. There was also like a disco version of the Star Wars theme.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's a terrible song.
The Ewok celebration was a big one.
Oh, I
don't remember that.
The Ewoks, that's all you need to know about him.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all you need to know about George Lucas. Q. Oh, look at the little guys.
Mm-hmm. But he's like a billionaire from it.
I'm not saying that he's not. Yeah, well, you know who else is a billionaire? El Chapo. El Chapo's a billionaire.
Well,
I have nothing bad to say about El Chapo.
I don't either. I'm saying he doesn't make cute cartoon things. I'd love to see him get a hold of one of these Ewoks. I'd love to see one of those little fucking awful heads come off.
He has higher standards than George Lucas.
He certainly does for children's toys.
Yeah, Fogel can have a run with that wicket.
Teach him a lesson or two.
Oh, look at these things. They're not even believable looking live creatures.
Right.
Little fuzzy, little cuddly things.
Yet those little guys destroyed every evil bad guy that was established in the earlier film.
Utter shit.
They threw twigs at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see the Subway ad with that emulates the cantina scene?
Oh, wow.
Let me see this.
A lot of crazy things happening at Subway.
How much did this cost them? Holy fuck.
Nice try, Subway, but we'll never forget.
Yeah.
You know what? I got a Subway in my neighborhood. That's
all you think about.
I can't
hilarious
walk by
line, obviously, but every time I walk by, that's all you think.
I have to stop in and support them.
They got to change their. They're gonna have to change their. They're gonna have to change everything.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's what you think immediately, and then you see that dumb footlong and all the dumb hacky jokes we've all tried ourselves and seen on Twitter.
You see the weird stain on the wall where the Jared poster was, It's like a silhouette.
Right. Where the tiles are nice and shiny and then right around it it's all dirty.
Right.
Yeah, man. They're going to have to figure something out, I think.
I know, that's a toughie.
I don't even know. Are their numbers dropping since the whole Fogel thing?
They've got to be.
And then the meat, because I used to like a good Subway sub every once in a while.
Me too.
And now you go in there and the meat just looks greasier now.
It's always been shit.
Everything just doesn't look, nothing looks right anymore.
I know, that guacamole, you're like, wait a minute.
It's a terrible fucking sandwich. I've been bashing Subway for you. I would never eat a sandwich. I'd rather eat your booger tissue and your booger tissue sandwich between liverwurst.
All right.
I hate Subway.
Game on.
Bready, awful sandwiches.
Was it ever good?
No.
Not even like when they came out. It wasn't cold cuts.
I don't like a Jersey. I don't like Jersey Mike's the name, but I'm telling you, I finally broke and had them on the road. Those cocksuckers are great.
Really?
Holy mackerel! Did I fucking chow down on a Jersey Mike's?
Yeah.
Better than Jimmy John?
I don't know Jimmy John. I don't know them. I don't know Jimmy John. I don't know what he does. Tell him you don't want to see him. He'll understand. Believe me.
What's a Jimmy John?
That's like kind of I guess Midwest. They have
I've never heard
a sandwich
Jimmy John.
joint.
That's basically Jimmy with what he is after him. Thank you.
All right. Let me take this call. This is a great line coming in from Patrick in Nevada. Patrick.
I'm in Atlanta, but hey, boys, I just wanted to chime in on the Carly Fiorina. Men are better at everything, and that is why Bruce Jenner won Woman of the Year.
Oh,
that's funny.
It's a good point.
Good line.
Nice, buddy.
All right, boys. Punch out.
She also did a why dogs are better than cats thing.
Oh, wow.
Because cats just scratch my hips and don't do it.
Yeah, is she an 80s comedian?
She's talking about why L.A. and New York are different. She hates the food on planes.
Right.
My God, look at her. She's got like a thin piano tie and sneakers.
Yeah, the blazer sleeves are rolled up.
Yeah, Bud Friedman's bringing her out.
All right. And she said something very controversial about Obama as well.
Oh, yes. Good.
Speaking of cats. Mm-hmm. Is it in this whole clip?
It is.
Oh, good. Let's listen to a little of this.
You stay right here. Okay, feed me a line. Hurry up.
Why dogs are better than cats, it says on the screen with Carly
You're allowed
Fiorina.
on the couch at my house. Yeah. A dog is happy to see you. Okay. Yeah. What do you think? Dogs are your own security detail.
Oh, God. I just imagine ISIS watching this like, we got him. Don't worry.
Peace signs, very cool. Our Republican primary voters might not like them, but a dog is sad when you're gone. Bye. Fluffy white dogs are always so friendly. You know.
Hold on. Good point with the racial stuff. I like that.
Right.
Fluffy white dogs are so friendly, but the fluffy black ones tend to complain about conditions. Good for Carly. Lay it down.
Yeah.
This how long is this fucking thing?
It's a 2-minute clip.
Awful.
Let's go with it.
Coming.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Your cousins vote Republican. Okay, we're losing this one. I always used to eat milk.
Lost the audience too.
I in the debates I look like a real cunt, so I'm going to show you that I've got a personality too.
Right.
I don't want the candidates to show me they have their home clips to show personality.
She should have went with kittens.
Yes.
She should have went with kittens climbing all over her.
Or a small horse with a giant cock. That I would love. Well, just yanking a giant horse dick. Had a girl.
I don't know if that's what she was going for, but okay.
I'd respect that at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd relate to it.
Not her eating a milk bone. This is a weird twist.
That's what she's doing.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. That'd be a fun thing to throw at her at like a debate.
Is she really eating one?
Yeah, no, she's really eating one.
She's just having some fun.
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh.
That's not what you should do as an ugly candidate.
Right.
She's an ugly candidate, and she's eating a milk bone, and the name she gave herself was Secretariat during that one debate.
Oh, yeah.
She did.
Oh, she just knows she's a fucking pig.
Just strap an oat bag to you.
She really is a fucking long-faced idiot.
She's a horse.
Hey, Dalmatian face. Oh, I fucking can't stand her.
And her hair even looks sad.
It's terrible.
It's just extremely flat.
Yeah, she has Sean Cassidy hair.
Yes. Nice one.
One of the Hardy Boys.
You are the only dog in your world, huh?
Oh.
I think I could use you all for debate prep.
Ugh.
You could be Donald Trump.
Oh, fucking yuck. Come on, which one's Ben Carson?
Oh, yeah.
Show us Ben Carson.
Yes.
Get the German Shepherd. Let's go. Do this properly.
Mm-hmm.
You could be
the black one.
Chris Christie.
No.
You're going to have to quit on your safety thing here. Come on. Yeah, yeah, these are dogs, not actors.
Stinks.
This
stinks.
John Kasich.
Where's Ben Carson?
Right.
Hold on.
Find the black one. Make him fucking Carson. Come on. Come on, Carly.
Yeah.
Listen what she says about Obama. Here it comes.
Not even Obama has a cat.
What does that mean?
Oh, to go back to it, I guess.
It's coming.
All right, it's coming.
This is unwatchable.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I really like cats too, though.
Oh, we missed it. Hold
Someone on Twitter said that I reminded them of Cruella de Vil. That is totally unfair. Although your coat is exceptionally soft.
Okay, so first off, who are all those dogs? And I don't like cats. And who is Cruella de Vil?
Holy fuck.
They ended it with the dogs watching, and the dogs were watching her on a computer.
Yeah. Where's
and
the
they were commenting.
Do you see the Obama line? We missed it?
I think we talked over it. But
no.
What,
that was the whole reason to watch this horse shit.
And the two, the dogs were looking.
The dog's watching at the end is pretty amazing.
She has a face like a greyhound. How does anybody fuck this woman? She has a face like a greyhound. She should be following a car on a dog track. She has a long face, long, spindly legs.
All right, listen to this. This is quick.
Fluffy white dogs are always so friendly.
You know, President Obama ate one of your cousins.
What?
A dog? German Shepherd?
Wait, is he talking about Michelle Obama?
Not what she means.
They're saying he used to eat dog.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Why? Because he's Hawaiian?
He must have. I bet you he admitted that in a book. He must have admitted something weird like that.
That he ate a dog once?
That he ate one time in a cultural thing, or I don't know. Why else?
I would assume we all ate cat.
There you go.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
In Indonesia.
In Indonesia.
Oh.
Because we've all been to one of those bad Chinese restaurants.
I don't care if he ate dog. A lot of the world eats dogs. So what? Yeah. I mean, we can't relate to it, but Indian people worship cows, and we can't get enough of tipping them over and fucking eating them.
Yeah,
enough with dogs. How could they eat dogs? Because they're hungry.
Right. It's an animal with fur.
Exactly. Why not?
Meat. Yeah.
And the number one meat in the world is goat, actually. And we don't eat a lot of goat in America.
No, they're fine. They got little human chins. They have unshaven chins. I can't eat any animal that needs a shave.
We know the MSNBC woman was totally ripping off the speech from Chasing Amy. Maybe she was trying to go there, but I don't know. It made people think that she was serious.
That's my take. Yeah,
I still feel like she was serious. Jimmy thinks she was going for the bit. Mm-hmm. Let me go to David in New Hampshire. David.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Pretty good. We got Mark Norman in studio today.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, you guys are killing it. Hey, Melissa Harris Perry, she had something, I think it was a couple months ago, where there was a picture in her office. She got mad at somebody because he mentioned hard work. She said she has a painting of slaves in her office to remind her what hard work is. So she'd rather he didn't say hard work because that's it's a microaggression or some shit like that.
Yeah, we talked about it. She didn't say microaggression. She said it was just she felt that, that's what hard work was. Yeah. Technically, she's probably right. Picking cotton in a field while a guy threatens to whip you is harder work than what we're doing today.
She, we did that clip a few weeks back, and I don't know. She tries to find racism, like I said, in everything. That's why I wonder if I feel like the Star Wars thing might be real.
And we were outraged. We said things like, "This country's going to hell in a handbasket." Yeah. Woo! Going down to tubes.
She's got a picture in her office of someone picking cotton. To remind her of what hard work really is.
What?
Oh, I don't. It reminds me to put a sweater on when it's chilly out.
She's a bit.
Hey, guys, I'll punch out before I become useless.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Too late.
Is it a slave or is it just like a white guy?
It'd have to be a slave. It couldn't be that would not be an effective poster.
I guess
just a guy working.
Yeah. Find the clip for Mark Norman. I'll play that again. I don't give a fuck. If it's short, especially.
Mm-hmm. I just learned cracker comes from whip cracker.
Of course.
I didn't know that.
Where'd you think it came from?
I just thought it was like, hey, we're salty white guys.
Oh, put cheese on you.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to dip that white guy in fondue.
Yeah.
Whatever else you fucking use crackers for. Am I wrong? We like to crumple that white guy over soup. Keep going, Jim.
And cotton picking is just because it's tedious. That's what I heard. It's
Get
not
your cotton picking hands off it. Yeah, probably.
Oh, well, that's different. Yeah.
You've been watching a lot of Foghorn Leghorn recently?
I love Foghorn.
Yeah, me too. My dick is like a bag of wet mice.
Wet mice.
I have the clip.
Yeah, let's play it again.
Let's go to the tape.
Current Republican Party into why.
But let's be fair. If there's somebody who is a hard worker, when he goes to Washington, it's Paul Ryan. Not only works with the Republicans, but Democrats. You know very well that I work on the immigration issue, trying to get Republicans to support immigration reform. Paul Ryan is somebody who has supported immigration reform, has worked with somebody like Luis Gutierrez. Luis Gutierrez is very respectful, speaks highly of Paul Ryan. This is somebody who's trying to govern.
Alfonso, I feel you, but I just want to pause on one thing, because I don't disagree with you that I actually think Mr. Ryan is a great choice for this role. But I want us to be super careful when we use the language hard worker, because I actually keep an image of folks working in cotton fields on my office wall because it is a reminder about what hard work looks like. So I feel you that he's a hard worker. I do, but in the context of relative privilege. And I just want to point out that when you talk about work-life balance and being a hard worker, the moms who don't have health care...
This is a stretch.
Yeah. It's a total shoehorn.
That's why I think the Star Wars thing is real. She does this. I do watch her once in a while. I think I watch to be annoyed. And she tries to find racism in everything.
She's just irrelevant. She's shit.
Well, she must be a blast around the office.
I'll bet you she likes her back bitten and a fucking deep dicking. I'll bet you she does. Little Miss Bossy on TV likes a good deep dicking.
Wow.
Spank me.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, sure. Be happy to.
Got to be the worst to be around. What kind of coffee do you want? Black. You're fired.
Why do you want black?
Exactly.
What does that mean?
Right.
Like, that's just how I like my fucking coffee. Will you leave me alone? Push play.
I understand that. But we don't call them hard workers. We call them failures. We call them people who are sucking off the system. No.
Who's
really
the system? Lucky guy. That was my nickname growing up. Here comes the system.
That is really what you guys do as a party.
That is very unfair. I think we cannot generalize about the Republican Party. I agree.
That's true. Not all Republicans. That is certainly true.
Romney did a terrible job.
I don't even think
she just fucking plows through everyone. Keep your whole quiet.
Ryan.
Yeah, that's it. She went with that hard work. I mean, the guy, they were having a good discussion, I guess, and then she had to go off.
And what a terrible
off the rails.
She keeps a picture of slaves working. I mean, they're not even making money. It's a terrible example.
Yeah.
Do something where you make some cash.
Wouldn't you rather see a bikini photo? You're not allowed to have any of that stuff at work anymore, but they allow that?
Right.
That would be a downer for a lot of people.
Right. It's a good point.
I think it's a great point.
Yeah.
Exactly. In my office, I had a picture of a big wet cunt, and it just had an arrow and said, "This is what you are to me." And women would complain when they walked in.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, everything's a stretch. We're all going for it.
Yes.
How come the Asians aren't complaining?
Mark is wrong on cracker. It comes from moonshining.
I always heard whipped cracker as well. I had always thought that too.
All right, let's go to Corey in Austin, Texas.
Yes!
Jim Norton's coming to Austin, Texas. Go to jimnorton.com to find out when. Go ahead, Corey.
Already got my tickets. Thank you, Jimmy, for coming back to Texas. I appreciate it.
I'm happy to be there, sir. Honestly.
I know you did it just for me.
Okay.
Hey, Mark, so cracker actually comes from moonshining, not cracking the whip. So it's from Jimmy Crack Corn and I Don't Care, which meant he was distilling the corn and it would pop as he's distilling it. So yes, if you go crack the whip, then yeah, you're definitely...
Oh, your phone did drop out. You might be right.
Yeah.
Because I love that, but who doesn't love that song, Jimmy Crack Corn and I Don't Care? It's got a wonderful, and then my master's gone away. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That gets sad quick.
Yeah, they don't really sing that in the schools anymore.
It's so much fun. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. One more time. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. My master's gone. Whoa, boy.
Hey.
We didn't think anything of it when we were growing up singing that song.
No.
Didn't think anything about it.
That's
it was in cartoons.
Sad.
I've never heard the second verse.
Off his horse and dies because of blue.
I was hoping to hear the song.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm getting to it.
Okay. Get to the goddamn song.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. Mark Norman, what are you promoting as we find that clip?
Hey.
Magoobies.
Magoobies this weekend, Thursday to Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Magoobies. Nice.
It's a fun gig, man.
It's a good room, yeah.
Very cool.
Looking forward to that. And then after that, I'm at Fort Lauderdale Improv on the 26th and 27th.
All right. And you got the podcast.
Podcast is going well.
For the record, we'd love to have you over here, but these guys in their dealings, let's just say.
Yeah, I forgot all about it.
Just know we love you.
I appreciate it.
We love you and Joe List.
Thanks, Don.
They gotta loosen up the purse strings a little bit upstairs.
Yeah.
Or they want us for free and they want to own all the content.
Exactly.
It's unrealistic. No one's going to let you own their podcast content.
You know what? I have a picture of Mark Norman in my office because he works for free, and I want it's a reminder to me
Because
You shouldn't.
I'm getting shit for it. I'm like, look, we love the guys. Of course we'd like to work something out. It's a great podcast.
I get if you don't have the cash, you don't have the cash.
Oh, Christ, they have the cash. They got to loosen up. Well, maybe not.
Well, they signed Howard Stern again.
The rumor is $90 million in the paper today, by the way.
90 a year?
$90 million a year.
I don't believe that.
Is the rumor.
Why?
That's being floated in the paper.
Because a lot of times they throw out numbers like Wayne Newton, when they say he's the highest paid man in Vegas. I believe it was my manager who came up with that, not Jonathan, but David, who was his publicist at the time, many years ago. I believe.
If his last deal was for 80 a year, 90's not a stretch.
What was 100 before that? So I don't see him going down.
But he's adding video content now.
Yeah, so maybe that's the
10 million a
maybe
year.
they kept the same deal, but then squeezed out an extra 10 million for the video.
It's possible.
Angle.
And the video thing's like a 12-year deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought it was his archives was a 12-year deal.
Yeah. The video is a 12-year deal.
Man. Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
I was just thinking if they would have squeezed 1 million out of that and gave it to us, we could do some big things over here.
Oh yeah, we're pretty cheap.
That's what I'm thinking. I take that mill, I could fancy up this channel for you.
Right.
Couldn't hold back a mill.
I know.
Give him the 89, give us the mill.
He won't even notice.
I'd be happy with that to pump things up around here.
It'd be nice.
But let the record show that we absolutely want you.
Hey, you heard it here first, folks.
All right. We got the song. This will bring everyone back to a happier place.
Yeah. When I was young, I used to wait on the boss and give him his plate and pass him the bottle when he got dry.
My teeth!
Brush away the blue tail fly. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away.
I can't do it. That's just too sad. It's too upsetting.
He didn't say the last care right. You draw that one out.
It's a Colin Quinn song.
Huh?
Jimmy crack corn, Colin doesn't give a care.
This is a rough karaoke choice. That's what it really screeching halt at the bar. You know?
Yeah, that would really.
All the
Maybe
Asian
you're right.
girls.
You would hear the record scratch.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
I had always heard. When does cracker come from? Can we say? I thought it was a fucking whip.
I don't know. You want to hear the second verse of the song? Oh,
okay.
We're here.
And when he would ride in the afternoon, I'd follow after
With my
a
friend
hickory
who's
broom. The pony being rather shy was bitten by the blue tail fly. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. My master's gone away.
Said it wrong again. Just got sad.
Don't you feel like this is what Donald Trump hears when he's brushing his teeth in his head?
Yeah. Have you seen have you seen Trump's hair? Oh my goodness. Where the heck did he get that from?
I know.
He rode around the farm.
Yeah.
The flies so numerous they did swarm. One chance to bite him on the thigh. The devil take the blue tail fly. Jimmy crack corn.
I'll be honest, I'm enjoying this more than I anticipated.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's nice and catchy.
Yeah.
I like a good catchy song.
Why do they call it blue tail fly?
Blue tail fly.
What's a blue tail fly?
That's some southern thing, I guess.
That's a great name for a band.
By the way, Jeremy in Kentucky and Chuck in Arkansas both saying, maybe not, it was James in Houston, sorry. That guy's full of shit. It is cracking the whip. Texas don't know nothing.
Right.
I always thought so.
I see two things. I see cracking the whip.
I wish they were fists.
Oh. It's so close to Christmas.
That's right. You're reminding me of what you guys did to our Lord.
And then another one comes from to crack in the sense of to boast.
Oh.
Jokes?
People that are boasting.
To crack jokes, like a lot of chippa?
Yeah, just it's similar, I guess.
Fuck a chippa crack jokes, and I crack up. That's fucking good. They crack twice.
Chip said crack twice.
Fuck yeah.
So what is a Cracker Jack?
I don't know, man.
Oh, boy.
That's
I really want to go there.
I'm not looking this up anymore.
Why not?
Why?
I've gone down the rabbit hole.
Oh, come on. You've got, anal carbuncle fisting on there.
Wait, what's that lyric?
Chip a crack jokes.
This is the original lyric
gone away.
for Jim Crackhorn, 1846.
You wanted the original lyrics from 1846.
Oh, let's hear that one. I'm sure it's a little different.
Well,
all right, let me see here. When I was young. Oh, let's see the new one. Den after den. Is that right?
Yeah.
Hold on. It starts off the same. Oh, it's Jim Crackhorn, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Old Massa gone away. Now, was this sung by white people or black people?
Well, Massa has got to be.
This might have been a lot of times. They would
might
sing
be a slave song.
A slave song. They would sing like, what was Wade in the Water? Was it the one they would? So I'm thinking it was. Might have been one they sang in the in the fields.
Yeah.
Dem, is that Den? I can't see it. Den after dinner, Massa sleep. He bid dis niggas vigil keep. And take the blue off it, I can't read it. And when he gwine to shut his eye, he tell me, watch D blue tail. Okay, it's kind of written phonetically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a slave song.
I didn't know that.
I'm guessing, that doesn't seem like a modern. It wouldn't hold up.
Yeah.
No.
They cleaned it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it goes back to 1846.
Just singing, fucking, how depressing to have to like do things in time, like just to keep yourself moving throughout the day.
Right.
Oh, shitty.
You ever had a job like that where you're like,
well, not quite that bad. No. I didn't love my forklifting job. I didn't have to sing to get through it.
Right. But you make little games,
Jim drive a forklift and he don't care. Jim take a long break and he don't care.
You didn't sing that at Caldor?
No, I did not. Jim wear a Kango, embarrass himself.
Oh, God. Did you?
Yes, I did. Humiliating.
I had an ear cuff.
What's an ear cuff?
Just like the little clip that goes on the top of the ear, like a metal thing.
You know,
pull up an ear cuff.
Yeah, it's like a little wrap around the ear.
Yeah.
Not read it, sign it. No, I don't know what that is.
I didn't want to get it pierced.
Oh no!
Oh, you went with the ear cuff.
I wore that for one day, and all the black kids made fun of me, and I threw that thing in the garbage.
There's nothing worse, by the way, than the black kids getting a hold of you, making fun of you.
Oh my God!
You're finished.
Yeah.
When the black kids start fucking. The worst is when they're teasing you and they're laughing, and you hear the laughter, and you know it's about you.
Oh, that's the word.
You're fucking done.
Black teens on the train. I'm out.
Get out of there.
I'm out.
Just get out of there.
It's not even like the fear or anything. It's just I know they're pointing and laughing, and you can't do a thing about it.
Because whatever is physically wrong with you, they will immediately zero out. Nigga ain't got no chin. You're fucking done.
I don't have a chin. You're right.
Done.
Yeah.
There's no comeback. Oh, yeah? You fucking just take it and get off the train.
Yeah.
That's the worst position to be in as a white man. On a train with black teens to this day. I don't care if you have an ear cuff or not.
I'd rather have them attacking me than making fun of me because there's zero comebacks that are going to work.
Exactly.
You're finished.
Or black teens in front of a McDonald's.
Oh,
I avoid at all costs. That is a cross the street scenario.
The laughter coming out.
Oh, God.
And then they're like one up at each other and high fiving, and it's crazy.
And you know your clothes are not up to snuff.
Yes. When I was in school, if your clothes were too small, they'd say, "Man, that shirt's young." And I was like, it is. I've had this shirt for 10 years.
Then you got Bugs Bunny singing the Jimmy Crack.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear Bugs' version.
When I was young, I used to wait on master and hand him his plate and pass the bottle when he got dry and brush away the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy crack on and I don't care. Jimmy crack on and I don't care. Jimmy crack on and I don't care. My master's gone away. And when he'd ride in the afternoon, I'd follow after with a hickory broom. The pony being rather shy when bitten by the blue-tailed fly. Jimmy crack
He's literally just talking. He's literally just singing about the day of a slave.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know, master wants this and I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, this probably wouldn't work today.
No.
Oh, this song has kind of gone away.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It seems slightly dated.
It kind of went away. This guy has a song from 1829 with original lyrics. I can't even imagine what this is.
Oh, no.
Should we go there?
Hope it's not Iron Man.
Let's go to David in Houston. David!
Hey, what's up, guys?
Welcome aboard, Dave from Houston.
So, the original lyrics kind of connect both of the stories together.
Okay.
There goes Jimmy Crack Nigger, and I don't care.
Oh, boy.
Jimmy Crack Nigger, and I don't care.
Huh.
I don't think that's factual, sir.
Yeah.
You just wanted to say the word,
I think so.
Yes. No one's offended, by the way.
He hung up now.
Mm.
He just saw an opportunity to say the word.
What's today's date?
The 16th.
Okay. Nobody even told me. A second show's been added at the Wilbur. I'm learning about it on
All right.
I'm learning about it on fucking Instagram.
Does that mean the first show sold?
I'm guessing.
That's awesome.
Or it's close. The Wilbur. I should be able to sell that out.
What's up there, Kenny?
Oh, Kenny wrote it down. Okay.
It was right there the whole time.
Oh, I didn't read it.
Well, congrats. Selling out, baby.
That's awesome. Good to hear.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Jimmy don't care.
Pre-sales today at noon.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Okay.
We're going to see if there's a password. Okay.
Very nice. We need to take a little break. For all the dates, go to jimnorton.com, right? All tickets are on sale.
Yes.
Pre-sale for the second show going on sale for noon at the Wilbur Theater.
The show's not at noon. The pre-sale's at noon, I think, today.
Yeah, pre-sale at noon.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mark Norman's at Magooby's this weekend, starting tomorrow night, Thursday through Saturday.
Come on out and bring some fingernail polish. That's what the kids have been doing because of the masturbation story.
Really?
Yeah. I got a ton of fingernail polish in my house now.
That was one of the weirdest stories of the year, by the way.
Yeah, it rang true with a few people. It resonated.
Yeah, that was a wonderful moment on this show in 2015.
That was a good time.
And at Mark Norm on the old Twitter. We're going to continue. We got, what are we going to do next? We got a bunch of things. That pimple shit is driving me it's a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
Is it pimple porn officially?
I guess.
Oh, wow.
People getting off on pimples?
I love a good...
Is that possible?
Zip pop.
And we do have the bank robber running.
The bank robber's a great clip.
On live TV, right? Okay, we got things to do. What?
We also had Troy throw together some...
Destined on My Heine remixes. Mm-hmm. That was a very good moment last week.
Yeah.
That was last week already, right?
Yeah, end of the week. We have 3 good versions.
All right, cool. We got things to do. Stay there.
The show is back.
Yeah, we're hanging with Mark Norman.
Ooh, hey.
And we got Henry Rollins a little later today. Woo! We haven't seen him in a bunch of years.
Yeah.
And Quentin Tarantino should be here very soon, probably.
We'll see.
Promoting the Hateful Eight.
Well, we're going to cancel.
Can't wait for that.
I'll cancel, Quentin. I have a good question to start with.
Yeah?
You got a movie called Reservoir Dogs. The ear got cut off. What'd you guys do with that ear? You still got that in your house, or do you fucking play with that or what? Come on, fess up.
Fess up.
Find the N-word. You guys use the N-word a lot.
Right. Dead N-word storage.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, Jeter. Yeah, Jeter's in some hot water.
I wonder how true that is. If it's, that may have just been a few concerns his people had, and they're putting it all on Derek now. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm sure you sit down, you try to figure out everything and how something could hurt you and stuff, and maybe it was brought up by one of his people. I can't imagine he would be front and center with this. They're basically saying Derek Jeter reportedly canceled underwear deal over concerns about marketing to the homosexuals.
Yeah,
the homosexual.
And I bet you Derek would sell a lot of underpants to the gay men because he is a handsome fellow.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think he just wants a good deal. I think he would like to see money rolling in, and if it means the homosexual is going to wear his underwear, what would he care?
Yeah. Because the statement from him was not good, and that was the problem. I don't want a bunch of fags looking at my prick! People like Derek, that's not the way to say it. You have to take that tweet down.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if he said that or if it's literally his lawyer might have just given an indication.
Well, let me read a little the story, because there's some wordplay in here, too, which is fun for everyone.
Hey, I love wordplay.
You love wordplay, right, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
Derek Jeter pulled out
innuendo
of a luxury underwear deal because he didn't want his skivvies marketed to the gay community.
Uh-huh.
The Yankee legend is an illegal slugfest with the underwear brand Frigo. Frigo. How do you say that? Frigo. Yeah, but I don't know if they fancy it up a little bit.
Frigo sounds like a...
I'm going to guess Frigo.
Frigo?
Sounds like a slur against gays. A couple of Frigos over here.
And the company now claims he balked on the agreement because the body briefs...
Oh, well, he wasn't even a pitcher. That's how you know that's bullshit. How can you believe that?
The body briefs were too... I was going to say too sexy, but they're saying here the body briefs were too gay.
Too gay?
What makes it too gay? Can we see some of these underwear?
Yeah. I think if you spit it out, I think you're just a good friend.
Oh, what?
All right, I thought you were asking a real question. Go ahead.
We're talking about underwear.
All right, go ahead. I'm just talking.
Okay. All right, well. Get some pictures up of their product, please. Jeter demanded that Frigo.
What?
Or Frigo.
Like boxer briefs.
What makes it too gay?
There's a hole in the back.
That's funny. Oh, Mark.
Oh, the pouch in front. That's getting a little weird with underwear, right?
Oh, the pouch?
Yeah, there's a little more material there to put all your junk in there.
Make your cock and balls look like they're really puffing out. And 50 Cent being involved, he apparently didn't like that either. But I don't necessarily believe that.
I don't know.
He's half black. His father's black, isn't he? I just don't buy that Jeter said I don't want to be around a black person's too urban for 50 Cent. I just don't buy it.
Is that in the story,
he said
too?
that too?
Oh, we're getting there. Okay. Jeter demanded that Frigo not market to the gay community and states that he did not want the Frigo brand to be too gay.
Mm-hmm.
The Swedish line owned by Revolution Wear says the company lost $30 million when the former Yankee captain backed out of an arrangement to endorse. All right. Earlier court papers. Okay. Also was concerned that rapper 50 Cent would make a bad brand ambassador because he would make the underwear line look too urban.
Too urban?
Too
underwear.
urban and too gay. I think you want both those markets.
Yeah.
That's why
if you like money.
Some legal thing where, who knows what it is, people might have said, well, can you do this or that? And then they're interpreting it as that. Maybe they're just trying to embarrass them into doing something or something.
You can't market toward us because we're just the 3-pack guys. You go in and get a fucking 3-pack of underwear. You're done for the most part. I don't give a fuck.
And how can underwear be urban? I don't even get it.
Exactly.
You know how it's...
what do you sag them?
A bigger pouch.
You got to have a giant fucking...
I see.
Bigger pouch, Mark.
Got it.
Those people have big ones.
Basically,
that's what I hear.
Basically, a Christmas stocking in front is what they.
Right.
Earlier, court papers alleged that the ex-Yankee shortstop also. Okay, I said that part, so let me move on here. Guess I'm not a Yankees fan anymore. 50 Cent wrote on Instagram after those comments went public. Let's go Mets, man. You can't trust nobody these days.
If that's true, yeah, I don't blame him for being annoyed.
Jeter called the urban allegations categorically false and slammed Frigo owner Matthias, I guess. That's a Swedish name. Ingvarsson. For taking the feud public.
Boy, I'm going to go gay. Look at these photos. Look at that thing.
They got the Frigo zone. What's the Frigo zone?
I don't know, but that's quite a unit.
What does it say there? Patented
design provides support with specifically designed cooling barrier.
A cooling barrier?
Oh, come on. It's not
What's
a Honda.
A cooling barrier?
Yeah.
Hey, Rich Boss.
Hey, boss.
What's going on, man?
Wow, what a letdown from Tarantino.
Yeah, we thought it was Tarantino.
I gotta wake up to this middle.
We put you. We should move. You know.
Is Tarantino coming in?
Yeah.
Yes, any minute. So get ready.
That's why we're putting you there.
So there's like a barrier, so you don't get that ball sweat on the side. I guess.
No,
it
you
keeps
can't.
it all airy.
You can't stop ball sweat.
I don't think so either. Even if it has the Frigo zone or whatever the hell they're calling it.
Yeah.
So, how much is Jeter being sued for?
Well, I don't want to sit there do nothing.
See. I don't know.
We don't know how much he's being sued for. Those underwear look all right, but you can definitely tell they're urban.
Yeah, they're a little too snazzy. Just give me some briefs.
I think you look like a fool unless you have like a perfect body.
Right.
If you have a perfect body, I guess you could wear that shit.
Like Batman wears that shit.
Yeah,
it's got like armor.
Right. Huh? What's up, Rich? Settle in. Let's go.
I'm ready.
How are you? Good morning.
I'm great.
All right. Huh?
I'm great. I got to blow off a meeting this morning.
Who's off? Oh.
And I'm good.
You tired?
No, I know.
Cold? What do you got going on?
I have nothing going on. I just woke up about half an hour ago.
Okay.
And got my coffee.
Did you watch the debate last night?
No. I heard Trump won.
They think it's either Trump or Cruz.
Well, it's going to be those two either way. It doesn't matter. And then it's going to
I think Rubio has a shot, actually. All right, Quentin just wrapped up, so
boy.
We're going to have him in here in a minute.
I'm going to piss real quick.
All right. Did you see the Hateful Eight?
No, is it out yet?
Screeners.
No, I'm supposed to get a bunch of screeners because of the,
The Oscar thing. Congratulations. You're writing for Chris Rock. I'm trying to get your energy up. Let's go.
I'm ready to go. I didn't know Quentin was coming in.
I know, it's huge.
Hey, Chris Rock posted a photo the other day.
I got there 10 minutes after they took that. I got there late. Do you see that seat that was empty?
Yeah, that's
my
you?
seat.
Oh, no.
And then I got there.
Let's see the photo. I'd love to see the writers.
I wasn't even supposed to be there. They were doing a thing in L.A.
Yeah.
And I went to L.A. last weekend just to get my miles up.
Yeah.
And that was the L.A. writers. The New York writers. They're not flying the New York writers in just to write promos or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I was there anyhow. So I said, well, what the hell? I'll go in, and sit with the writers in L.A. Saturday. But I got there a little late. The girl... Where's the girl across from me? She's fucking funny.
Where are you in this picture?
See that seat right there?
Empty seat.
In about 15 minutes, I'll be there.
Oh,
10,
no.
Maybe 10.
Is this Frank Sebastiano?
Yeah, Frank. And next to it, Chuck Sklar. Chuck Sklar.
Please name more people I don't know.
I don't know.
And then
Frank Sebastiano is
one guy over there.
Kind of fun.
Frank.
No, I mean, explain it. I don't care.
Frank Sebastiano wrote with Norm Macdonald for years.
Okay, thank you.
And all
now
the
that means something.
And I got other guy, two from Chris on the right is Scott Aukerman.
Oh, yeah, Comedy Bang Bang.
Yeah, funny guy. They're all, when I've never really sat in a writer's room. I always submit when I'm writing stuff, but stuff was flying. There was some funny fucking stuff coming out of their mouths.
Oh, really?
Not mine, but theirs. So funny.
All the stuff that he will not be able to do, probably,
I know.
right? That's how that works out?
Well, there's so many. The whole place was full of, ABC and Oscar people, and, I guess I hate to be in his spot, because you got to be...
Is he wearing a bow tie, Chris Rock? In that
Yeah, tuxedo.
That's
a tuxedo? It looks more like just a bow tie.
This is stuff we could talk about when Quentin's here.
Yeah.
And I'm writing for the Oscar. I mean, that would be a lot.
Well, I would appreciate if you didn't make it as much about yourself today.
I'm not going to say anything about me.
Well, but I wouldn't mind if you had some nice questions for Quentin.
I have
Quentin Tarantino.
I love a writer's room photo. It looks like a nerdy X-Men.
Matter of fact, when they roasted Tarantino, I wrote for Chris, but he had to bail out of that roast. They had a roast at, I think, the front. And then Quentin had to postpone it because his father passed away. And they postponed the roast.
His stepdad? His dad's alive?
Or someone passed away in his family. And they
postponed
the
roast. The father?
Huh?
You just assumed it was the father?
Or the mother. Someone close.
Oh, it was his mother.
Oh, that might have been when his editor passed away. His editor died. Yeah, he was really close with the editor, and she died in some hiking accident.
She was hiking.
Yeah.
But they said she was really responsible for
what happened with her again? Was it a cougar, or was it just a heart attack? I forget now. It was a really strange story. They found her dead on a trail out there in the L.A. area.
Who hikes? Hiking. You never hear a good hiking.
In L.A., a lot of people do.
I know. I never heard.
Well, you just said who hikes, so I had to answer your question.
That's obvious. I'm saying, what kind of asshole does it? Because you never hear a good story come out of hiking. Go to the fucking to CrossFit or.
Why don't you take a hike?
How about you're out there and you're just trying to get a little exercise and a little air?
That's something you would fucking do. You fucking hiker and biker. Go.
Easy with the rhymes.
You're a hiker and a biker. That's what he is.
Watch out. He's insulting everybody now.
Rollerblade and zip
What's
through
wrong with
LA.
biking?
Fucking
hiker and biker. And when you fool me, you're a real psycher. Whoa. That's a damn good one and accurate. You sure are.
I just couldn't commit to actually saying it.
Oh, come on. Hit him with it. You're
No.
Tiker?
Yeah, I'm a tiker. You're a kiker.
What's going on, Norton? I haven't seen you in a while.
I'm very good, Rich. Very well.
Good.
How are you?
Oh,
not bad.
Happy to see you, as always.
There's a bet coming in.
Okay. I bet a buck.
A bet?
I bet $25. $25, Mr. Harding?
Yes. Go ahead, Tommy.
Morning, gentlemen.
Tom. Love the Tommy from Brooklyn. What do you got, bud?
I don't know about that, but...
Also, I'm a big fan, but
fuck yourself.
You're not going to mention yourself while Tarantino's there. $100 says you can't not say something.
$100 says you can't eat 7 meals today.
Wow.
He laughed.
Hold on, but he didn't want... He made a laugh because there was no sound and he wanted to make a sound.
Yeah, he was uncomfortable by the silence.
What did that mean?
Because you know he's a bigums.
Are you a big boy, Tommy?
You can tell by his voice.
No, I'm not a big one.
How much you weigh?
240.
God damn it, Voss. Home run Voss. Oh, never question the fucking hearing of a rat. God damn it, Voss caught it in his voice.
Hey, Tommy, don't you call into our show on Tuesday nights?
Yeah, he's a regular to a lot of shows around here. Good old Tommy from Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn, right?
Hopefully not that bag of shit Sam Roberts.
I'll see you guys at Patrice's event.
All right.
Okay, buddy. I might cancel out, though. I'm holding out for more money.
All right, Tom.
Thank you.
Boss, keep it shut.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to take another one, Voss, while we're at it? One more? One more. One more.
Negative. Why do you always put negative calls through?
One more.
Attaboy, Rich.
One more, Kevin in Virginia.
Hey, good morning, boys.
Hey.
You got my favorite director coming in today, Quentin. I love it. I can't wait. But you got this fucking zero sitting there. You fucking marble mouth stuttering fucking retard.
Okay.
Voss is not a
if
zero.
Your mom's hand didn't shake so much with a hanger, you wouldn't be making this call.
Oh, wow.
Rich is implying that you should have been aborted, sir, that your mother was a klutz and should have drank Sanka.
If she didn't have the shakes, if she had one more drink, that night, you wouldn't be here. That's not boo, it's very good. Okay? You fat fuck, you should be going moo, not boo. Okay?
That's right.
You're 0 for 2. Goodbye.
All right.
Boy, Rich.
Yeah. We just got it out of the way. Now we're good. Now we can move forward.
Why do you put negative call? Why can't you put positive call?
Well, if I had one coming in for you, I would do
say
it.
Say positive Voss calls.
As soon as one comes in, I'll go right to it.
Thank you.
All right.
Positive Voss calls from people who do blood work only, please. Yes.
The phones aren't lighting up.
They're a little dry right now.
We get
the positive calls for Rich Voss.
Tuesday night.
A little dry.
Every Tuesday night.
You guys were very funny last night.
I didn't like it.
It was a good show.
Thank you.
Do a very good job at that. My wife hates me.
Oh, I got it.
And people are raving about your wife's book, and you're still not reading it.
I guess I am. I'm on page 25.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
And this is serious, because I've never had, like, a real job. Have you ever had a real one?
I've had many.
I've never had a real job.
Really? Dude, I was a busboy. What do you mean, like an office?
Like you went to an office or...
Nah, not really. I was a temp.
Okay, I've never had a real job.
No one in the studio has had a real job.
Well, I have. Let me ask this question.
Oh, Jimmy has, absolutely.
I've had a bunch.
Okay, so we've been doing our radio show for over a year and a half almost. Do we get a Christmas bonus? Right? I mean, isn't that normal? Don't you get Christmas bonuses when you have a real...
I know they're throwing a Christmas party today. You want to go?
I don't want fucking dumb pie and pastry.
That's what
told us about the party. Isn't that a problem?
Yeah, they didn't really tell us. But we don't use our corporate email.
No.
We said fuck.
I don't believe in corporate email, man.
You want to go to the Christmas party? That's what they do these days.
Oh, you said no, I can't come in.
What?
I go, is it too late now to come in? You go, no, it got fucked up, sorry.
No, that meant you could come in.
Oh, okay. Well, anyhow, back to the Christmas bonus. Like, who would take care of that? Serious? How do they do that?
Yeah, it's definitely serious. Definitely
That's
serious.
not what they
definitely
told me.
serious.
No,
No,
definitely
Yes, go to Scott.
Yeah, go to
Scott said the only way to get one, he likes it when you walk in and you're assertive.
Right, definitely serious.
Hand on the table slap.
Why don't you go down there right now? I think he's in.
No.
There's probably a nice envelope for you. That's what I'm thinking. I know there's a Christmas party if you want to go with me today. I might go over for a little while. I don't know if I am, actually. They just started that up again. It used to be in the lobby. Now they took it off.
Well, they had a big thing for the Golf Channel last night, and they wouldn't even let us walk near it. But they had a roped-off party for the Golf Channel up there. They had, I guess, special guests they were interviewing in that glass room.
Who was from the Golf Channel?
I have no idea.
Did they have any of the pros?
Yeah, I think there were some pros in there, some old-time pros.
You would have liked that, right?
I would have loved to sit and listen.
All right. There's a few positives coming in now, so let's just acknowledge that. We don't have to actually take them, right?
No, why would you?
All right.
No, take one at least.
All right.
Let's hear one.
Sometimes when with
Here's a positive one. All right. Just to make you feel better about yourself. John in Indiana, go ahead.
Hey, I want to call Voss out on his bullshit. He said yesterday, last night on his My Wife Hates Me show, that he was walking around. He can get in there anytime he fucking wants to with a building pass.
I can. I got it right here. Stupid.
There you
Okay.
go. There's a
so
positive
this is where
call.
you're fucking wrong. Look at this. What is this, folks? An idiot? Okay.
He's holding up his ID.
but he knew the Tarantino.
No, I didn't know he was coming in here. You had the dumbest listeners. I swear to God, you're so stupid.
This is a positive one.
No, he's stupid, and he's fucking in Indiana.
He is stupid with a T. You're right.
Go put on fucking Bob and Tom. You don't deserve this show.
I'm going to go see Jimmy in Indianapolis. So.
Yeah, I'll be there too. And don't come. I don't want you to come.
My first time ever in Indianapolis.
You could, after the show, you could stand there and I'll sell you a CD, but don't come to the show.
All right, there you go. There's your positive phone call.
That was positive?
Yeah, that was a good one.
No, it wasn't.
No? All right. We'll take another positive then. Jesus. Ryan in Houston, go ahead. Where's Quentin? Quentin Tarantino.
Hey, what's going on?
Maybe he saw your show and thought it was a slumber party. Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay, so I saw a picture of Rich Voss with like a Jerry curl. I've only known Rich Voss recently, listening to the show, and I, got into stuff. But dude, how long ago was that Jerry curl that you had?
About 4 months ago.
Oh, was it?
No, it's when I had rotten teeth, stupid. That was a long time ago.
I don't fucking know, dude. No, I mean, were you doing crack at that time, man?
No.
He's on crack.
No, you look like a fucking Jewish jive turkey there, man, with that fucking...
I was a jive turkey back then.
Oh, going back to the...
There it is.
Holy
Jerry curl
hell.
But that's how my hair grew. It grew, if I grew my hair long.
It would grow out like that still?
Yeah.
Wow.
It would grow like that.
You don't have a hint of a curl in your hair these days.
I know.
I think that's a perm. You went when you got your hair permed.
I swear to God.
Oh my God, Voss used to get his hair permed.
No, listen,
that's wild.
How long would it take to get it permed? Quentin's on his way. All right, thank you, Ryan in Houston.
Who would get their hair permed?
He just walks in. Quentin Tarantino just walks in.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey, Norton, how you doing?
See you, buddy.
What's going on, buddy?
All good, all good.
How's your morning going?
Oh, pretty good. Had a good time so far.
So far, so good?
Yes.
Did he get interrogated by Howard over there?
Yeah, but, this is pretty loud.
Oh, sorry, I did that.
Yeah, we could turn those down for you there, sir.
Okay, testing 1, 2.
How's
okay,
that?
that sounds good.
You good?
Yeah.
Did he get interrogated over there?
Oh, I always do, but always
it was fun
in a cool way. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Most of us saw the Hateful Eight, and right off the bat, you made another fucking masterpiece, my friend.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Well, you guys have always been pretty down with what I do, and I appreciate that.
I just don't go for the salty language, but I mean,
I didn't use the N-word enough.
The N-bomb's in there a bunch. It's not your record though. I don't think it's going to set the record for a Tarantino film. That's used properly, sir.
I haven't seen it yet because the screening. I had a gig, so I couldn't go to the screening. But everybody said it was awesome, and the dialogue was brilliant. And
that's okay. You got to pay. Oh, good. I'm down with that.
I will. I would actually. I even pay at screenings. That's how supportive I am. I'll hand money over to somebody.
I'll tell you, it takes balls because in this day and age, my first thought when I heard it was over 3 hours, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. This is scary for me personally. A long movie, and then I'm thinking the masses out there. But I sat there, and you don't even care that it's 3 hours. It goes by like nothing.
Well, I mean, the movie isn't really 3 hours, but the experience, 12 minutes of that is the intermission itself.
Yes.
That you're saying. But I never quite understood that. I mean, the biggest yahoos watch a football game that goes like 3 hours and 40 minutes or something like that, and so I don't understand what the whole problem of a movie that's good anyway.
Well,
I think more for your money.
I agree. That's a good point.
Well, wasn't the logic for a while that you make a film only 80 minutes and that's good? They figured out that's about the average a person will sit through.
Well, I can understand the studio coming from that perspective because they're like, oh, you get more screenings in.
Yes.
I mean, that I understand where they're coming from. But, for a viewer, if you like it and stuff. And also, think about, especially even, not talking about in the artsy-fartsy, cinétiste kind of way. I mean, I don't know a grown man, 20 years my junior or 20 years my senior that doesn't love the good and the bad and the ugly.
Right.
And back in the 60s and early 70s, you'd see the good and the bad and the ugly on a double feature with something else. And the good and the bad and the ugly is like 3 hours and 20 minutes or something.
Yeah. And growing up when that movie was on TV, I remember laying around with my dad. That movie would be on all day because they would put the commercials in too. This thing would be 5 or 6 hours by the time you got to the end of it. And you didn't care.
Oh, yeah. And not only that, actually, I think one of the seminal experiences growing up in the 70s was NBC every year through the 70s, before video cassettes came out and you could watch any movie you wanted, NBC once a year would show The Great Escape. And they'd show it on 2 different nights, 2 consecutive nights. I was seeing a lot of head nodding. Remember that? Yeah. I watched that every year. Every year they played it. And I always remember, and I think this is the first movie I ever had this feeling about. I was so moved by the ending and the closing credits where you see everybody's name, and then you cut to that last shot of Steve McQueen, and it was Steve McQueen as the Cooler King, as that cool theme wraps up. And I always felt so sad at that last image because I know it wouldn't be for another year until I could watch this movie again.
Right.
You forget.
Yeah.
How did you get, I'm going to say his name wrong, Ennio
Morricone.
How did you get him? Because isn't yours like the first time in 40 years he's done a film?
Well, he does movies, in particular like Italian movies, but it's the first time in 40 years he's done a Western.
Okay.
Because he said he was done with Westerns. He didn't want to do a Western anymore. And we flirted with the idea of working with each other because, he's my favorite composer. And when I say composer, I don't mean like, thank you so much, man. I don't mean like movie composer. I mean like Beethoven. I mean Handel. Yeah. I mean anybody. He's my favorite. And I've used his previously used scores all throughout Kill Bill. There's Morricone music. All throughout Inglourious Basterds, there's Morricone music. Same thing with Django. And he's always like, use my old shit. What about some new stuff? I ain't dead. Let's use it. Let's work.
How old is he?
He's like 87.
Wow. Yeah, because when I saw his name pop up, I'm like, I didn't even realize he was alive, to be completely honest with you.
And so the thing about it was, it's really cool because we got to, this was the movie that, I love the way I've done my soundtracks before, where I didn't have a composer. I always just picked the music myself and put it on and chose it personally and stuck it in the film and that was the way they should have been done, and that's the way I like to do them. This was the first time that I actually had a little voice in my ear saying, this material deserves an original score. It deserves a score that hasn't been heard in another movie before, and it just deserves it. And I've always, when that little voice talks to me, I actually do believe that's your talent trying to communicate to you. And so we explored the idea.
Right.
Between me and Morricone, and went down to his apartment in Rome. And the first way to explore it, the first step you do is you get this, because he doesn't speak English. He speaks English a little bit, but he pretends like he doesn't. And you get the script translated into Italian. And so he read the script, his wife read the script, they both really liked it, and then I was invited to come to his house to talk to him about it. And he actually didn't really have time, he thought at the time, to do an original score. But he goes, well, maybe I can do a theme for you. And then he sat down and got inspired. He got inspired and wrote a whole score for me. And then he used the Czechoslovakian Philharmonic to record it, and I went down to Prague, and I got to see him, record his score on, with the Czech Philharmonic, and it was an experience.
What a dream, from a kid to have the guy who's in your favorite film, to have him doing the music.
And then not only that, but another thing that I couldn't have expected happened is he's become very affectionate with me, and he's kind of a prickly pear kind of dude, because he's a maestro and he's old and he doesn't suffer fools gladly, if at all. And but he's really has developed this warm relationship with me, and I think all his people were telling me that this was like the most inspired he's been writing something in a long time. And it's crazy gratifying.
It's a great piece that starts off the movie. How long is it? Like 12 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
12 minutes as you're getting your seat. This thing.
Yeah. The overture. Yeah.
Yeah, the overture.
I think about 7 minutes. About 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Yeah. This overture is playing. It just sets the mood for your whole experience. It's perfect.
But then one of the things that's actually kind of interesting about it, because he said he never really wanted to write another Western score again, but then he liked the movie, and one of the things he liked about it was the fact that it didn't seem like any Western he'd ever read before. And he didn't really write a Western score. He wrote a horror film score.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Absolutely.
And it's a fantastic horror film score. And I even remember him talking about the opening theme that you see in during the Jesus cross shot.
Yes.
And, he just, he didn't hum it for me, but he described it. And he goes, I want it to have a forward momentum that moves it forward, almost indicating the stagecoach moving through the snow with the 6 horses. I want to feel the 6 horses. I want to feel the stagecoach moving through the winter. But it also has this ominous umbrella over it that suggests the violence that will come. And I think it does exactly that.
I felt like The Shining, the opening scene of The Shining, when they're driving with that music. A little bit.
I get that.
I felt like it was in the same vein.
I don't think it sounds like that, but you're right. It's the same vein.
It's the same vein. It's completely a different piece of music. But that same type of, some shit is about to go down. Yeah, Quentin Tarantino.
You know that's not a pleasant trip up the mountain.
Yeah, no.
You hear that fucking coming through.
But it gave me that same feeling. And I liked that. The other thing about the Hateful Eight, which is amazing, it's about 3 hours, let's say, and it's pretty much 2 sets. That's your brilliance, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Your writing and your character development. I mean, that's it. It's 2 sets. It's a stagecoach scene, and then in the
haberdashery.
In the haberdashery. Thank you. Yes, and I have to ask you about. You guys obviously needed to snow for this film.
Yeah.
How do you figure that out? Do you go to an area where you know it's just going to snow a lot, and you just wait it out?
No, that's it. That's exactly it. I mean, you got to go where you know there's going to be snow, and then the 2 choices by looking at the meteorology records of the past few years, like the 2 places that we could kind of guarantee that would get snow, at least eventually, was Colorado and Utah.
Yeah.
And there really wasn't much of a choice between Colorado and Utah because Colorado has those beautiful mountains. And also, we were able to set up our situation in Telluride, which is actually just a really fun town, to be in with the whole crew. And we got to know almost all the people in the town, and we were really accepted and invited. And we had a really fun time. It was one of the funnest times I've had making a movie since Kill Bill. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But we did have a situation where we started shooting in earnest in January, and it was just a really hot January. And so there was snow all over the place, but it wasn't snowing, and the sun was out a lot. So we didn't wait for the snow, but we didn't create phony snow either.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah. We just moved. We moved into the haberdashery and shot what we could, and just kind of waiting it out for the snow to eventually fall. And around February, it fell.
And then you guys were like, "All right, let's get out there and do this now."
Yeah,
finally.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you really kind of needed, especially for that opening scene.
Yes.
Yeah, you needed that magical snowfall, and that puts you in the movie. That puts you in the situation.
It's that perfect snow that you only get to see maybe twice every season, where it's very fluffy and light, and there's no wind, and it's not slushy whatsoever.
Do you feel that I got to ask too about the whole recent controversy? Do you feel you were taken out of context, because you seem pretty pissed about the way the whole thing was taken?
Oh, I was absolutely taken out of by the Patrick Lynch situation. Yeah, no, I was completely taken out of context. I mean, I have a absolute. I don't think anyone's arguing that I don't have a right, but you can actually condemn police brutality and not condemn the entire institution of the police force ad hoc. All right, to say that there are some cops that are abusing power and there's institutional racism going on in law enforcement doesn't negate everything good that good policemen do and that the law enforcement does in general. But there is a problem that needs to be dealt with, because people are dying, and it's just disgusting, and it needs to be taken care of. And so the way they attacked me and misrepresented what I said, that I'm a cop hater and that I'm saying that all cops are murderers. I mean, that's just not what I said, and everyone knows that, who looked what I had to say. But then I clarified it a little bit more, and you guys were cool. I listened to the show when you guys talked about it and everything. I'm like, that's not what he said.
Did they? By the way, did they back off? Because you're a guy who never seems to back off when someone tells you not to say something. Did they back off a little bit when you really did clarify?
They didn't go out of their way to make a statement saying that we're backing off. All right, but they have kind of lost a head of steam about going forward. I mean, I don't know if officially the boycott is still in effect. I think probably if you asked Patrick Lynch, he would probably say it was. I think if you asked Bill Bratton, I think he would probably say no comment, to tell you the truth. We'll see what the deal is. I'm not trying to provoke those dudes per se.
Sure.
But I think what happened was the guy Jim Pasco, who's the head of the league that represents all the cops, or the co-chair of that league. He went out and he ended up, I think, helping me out and making them look really, really bad. And I think that ended up taking the wind out of the sails a little bit of what their situation was. Because he basically threatened me.
Right.
In public. Like, we got a surprise for Tarantino. Yeah. And sometime between here and then, when his movie opens, we're going to show this guy something. And then, like, even he started realizing how bad he was sounding. He sounded like a bad guy's in an 80s action movie. You know, he goes, we're not saying we're going to hurt him, but he's going to get the picture, if you know what I mean. All right. And, like, you know, people were literally writing, like, did the cops just threaten to kill Quentin Tarantino, or am I crazy?
Yeah.
And the thing that was, it was also the way that the police organizations reacted to my very legitimate protest and my very legitimate complaint, was disingenuous. I mean, I'm sure what they felt was that I was just some out-of-touch rich fuck celebrity, all right, that goes out there and just started talking about shit he didn't know what he was talking about. I'm sure that's what they came from. But what they did instead is demonize me, claim that I said something I didn't, and then, like, hit me like a ton of bricks. One, because I think they figured, okay, we're going to shut this guy up. Too sweet. And two, we're going to teach anybody else who's going to open their big mouth. Hey, you do this. This is what you get. We're going to do to you what we did to Tarantino. But I think they also figured, me being a rich scumbag, all right, that if they actually tried to affect my bottom line, that naturally I would walk backwards and start doing the apologizing and everything, and I just didn't do that.
Well, it worked. It scared me. I didn't say anything.
What the Weinsteins backed you up too. It was so nice to see that.
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
Was there a moment though where they called you and they go, "Look, you got to make this go away," or how did that work?
No, it was Harvey is actually. He's a very liberal man, and he backs a lot of different liberal causes. And they released that movie Fruitvale Station that actually deals with this very subject. I'm sure it was a pain in the ass they didn't need. That is for sure. I mean,
but at least they hung in there. A lot of times, your bosses or the company you work for, or whatever, they bail so quickly.
No, ultimately, Harvey,
he did the right thing.
Yeah, no, ultimately, Harvey was actually proud of what I did. He wanted to know. We ended up having a really nice conversation about it, so him to feel exactly where I was coming from, and did he feel that did I have a solution for any of these problems that I was bringing up? And but I did kick the company in the shins a little bit, but it seems like it has subsided as time has gone on.
And you believe overwhelmingly that the cops do the right thing?
Well, I do.
Because that's my headline with this whole thing when we discuss it. I just want, if we're discussing this topic, I just want that to be discussed on TV as well. That look, the majority absolutely do it.
I do not think it's a bad apple situation. I don't buy that argument.
Yeah, okay.
I don't buy that argument. But I will say this. Look, I'm a rich guy, and I live in the Hollywood Hills in California.
Nice. I'd love to come by.
Nice. He invited us once, but he never gave the address or gave us a phone number. Let the record show. But it was nice anyway.
Yeah. I meant it when I said it. All right.
Caught up in the moment. I understand.
But the thing is, look, I live in the Hollywood Hills. When I see a cop driving around my neighborhood, I have no doubt that they are there for my best interest, for both me and my safety and protecting me and my property. And I'm sure if you go to Steen's Landing out here and knock on doors and ask them, they'll say the same thing. And I'm sure if you go to Pasadena or Glendale and knock on doors, they'll say the same thing. If you go to Inglewood, California and start knocking on doors, and they're not going to say the same thing. Because they don't feel that way. Because ever since the war on drugs happened about 30 years ago, as opposed to protecting the community per se, they've been busting every son and daughter and husband and father for piddling little drug offenses. And that is the truth. And I do believe that there is institutional racism going on, that black males and brown males are criminalized in their eyes. There is a suspicion of criminality going on. And you bust some kid for a joint that he has in his pocket, which, by the way, they don't do to the same age kids in Pasadena and Glendale and in the white areas, because they can get in trouble. and they bust them, and now all of a sudden they have they're in the system now.
Let me ask you too, because this is I know enough cops and I know enough black guys who've never met, and they all tell me the same thing. Black guys, meaning black guys, will all say the cops do treat them a lot differently, and the cops all say, look, I mean, black people make my job harder, like they hate me, and it's like, what do they do to fix that?
Well, oddly enough, that whole incident that happened in Chicago that was been publicized for the last 3 weeks, I think that puts a lie to the bad apples argument. Because, okay, so the cop that shot that kid, is he the bad apple? Okay, well, I think we'd all agree, yeah, that he's the bad apple. But what about the 8 other cops that were standing around as it all happened, and who didn't say anything for an entire year? And how about the union head who told a statement that now he's actually walking backwards? Well, I didn't know; it was just hearsay. That's what they told me. But in the statement given to local television at the time, is the victim of this murder was a criminal, and that he lunged at them, and that was just a falsehood. And 8 different cops were standing there and saw it. And then so where does this bad apple business stop? Now, the interesting thing about all that, I actually thought Rahm Emanuel, the mayor, his press conference was one of the most interesting things I've saw in the news in a long time. He was under fire. And he's known as a liberal. He's Obama's guy. And I ultimately do believe he's coming from a good place. But again, you have a situation where you got the Patrick Lynches of the world. Bill de Blasio stands up for people's rights against abusive law enforcement. And now they attack the mayor in this big way. And that's the shot heard around America. Mayors better keep their damn mouth shut. They better support their boys or else. And that's the situation he's stuck in. And now he's facing almost like a firing squad during this police conference. But what came out of that is he proposed in Chicago some reforms to law enforcement that if they actually take place, those would be genuinely significant. They would be really, really meaningful. And if they were, and if that were to happen and they were adopted in other places, I mean, that would actually be a meaningful step forward.
And what do you think the difference is, too, between, because it's such a weird job to carry a gun and have the right to arrest people, between a guy who really fucks up on the job and kills somebody and a guy who is actually a murderer. Like the guy running away in North Carolina. That to me is a very fair calling a guy a murderer.
And not only that, I mean, that was a situation where not only did he murder that guy, it was caught on tape, and he would have gotten away with the murder if it hadn't have been filmed. His word would have been accepted.
What do you think the line is between the murderer and the guy who really is a decent cop who just fucks up and handles something terribly?
Look, the cops do have a hard job, and there is no, they go into dangerous situations. They don't know what the situation is, and cops have been killed stopping people for innocuous crimes. That has happened. We all know that. And that is, at the same time, that is their job. And I don't say that flippantly, but that is their job. But at the same time, I still feel that, like the Eric Garner case, well, to me, that was murder. The cop who strangled him was a murderer, and the other cops that helped, who assisted in that takedown, are accessories to that murder. Now, that is part of the things that the police force have pushed back against. Is like, okay, these guys have been indicted for murder, so okay, we're okay with that. But then these other guys have been let off by some sort of cop tribunal, and so now we have umbrage of you calling them a murderer. The thing that I actually think is interesting is it would be interesting to have somebody from the police academy sitting here and we watch the Eric Garner video. And I say what I saw and you say what you saw. And then they say what they saw. Because I don't see I would like to see what it is that they're seeing that's different from what I'm seeing. Because I think most citizens watch that, and that is just what it is. And we're talking about New York, all right? If a guy was standing out there in front of a store in Woodstock, New York, I don't think they would have reacted the way that they did. And even the whole concept of he was selling loosies, that's not even for sure. He was known for selling loose cigarettes. But the witnesses at the scene say that was not what happened. That he had broken up a fight, but he was just known for doing those kind of things. And he had just been harassed a bunch. I mean, I see a man who has been harassed time and time again, and he said, enough's enough. And I don't see where you basically have to completely acquiesce your manhood in a situation when you're confronted by civil servants.
Wow, why do I feel like this is different than the Howard interview?
No, it's interesting because the cops, I think most of us are pro-cop, and, that it's one of those things like with Eric Garner, I don't think they choked him on purpose to death, meaning like...
Well, I don't think that they, obviously they didn't get together and say, we're going to
kill this guy.
And we're going to kill this guy. But at the same time, I mean, when a guy says, I can't breathe, well, what the fuck?
Right.
Yeah, it seems like people just pick us, they line up. Like, what I don't like about Patrick Lynch is that no matter what happens, he takes the same. Yeah. That's why I find him hard to trust anything he says, because no matter what it is, he thinks that his guys were right. And until there's 100% video proof, he never would come out and say, I think this guy did wrong.
Not even when there's 100% video proof, as far as he's concerned. The cop has to actually admit to it. I mean, there is no form of police brutality that he cannot find an excuse for.
Yeah, it seems like he's always taking the angle of being protective.
Okay, just to be, I can't believe I'm being fair to Patrick Lynch, but I mean, to be fair, that actually is his job.
Yeah, but let me ask like any other union head or special interest, it just irritates me.
Quentin, one last thought on that. When the simple argument is had where they say, well, if he was a law-abiding, he'd still be alive today.
Well, the point being is all the witnesses on the scene say he was law-abiding, that he was not doing what they suspected him of doing. It was just, they were just suspecting him because he was known for doing that. Right. And by the way, what crime are we talking about? Is that actually representing the taxpayers and the public good, busting that guy, even if he was doing it? Forget about the fact that he probably wasn't.
See, I was under the impression that the business owners had called him. Like, that the business owners had said, look, this guy's standing in front and he's affecting our business. Can you guys come
No, they saw him out of the corner of his eye and they knew who he was. And they were just, what the hell are you doing around here? What's going on? You doing up to your old tricks again?
Okay. Right. We only have a few minutes. I want to make sure we properly promote the Hateful Eight because I absolutely enjoyed this movie there, sir. What else did we want to say about this?
Is this going to be a play? Because everyone is saying it was written, the dialogue could be a play. Do you intend on making this a play?
I'm thinking really, really serious about it. And I might do that actually sooner than later. I have to, part of my thing when I do a movie is I end up going all around the planet Earth to some degree or another, promoting it and saying it and watching it and talking about it. And I have to see how much juice I still have for this piece of material after, banging the drum on it for so long. But I like the idea of taking it to Broadway, rewriting it, restructuring it actually as a piece. And like for instance, just I don't want to give anything away.
The reveal?
Yeah. But if I did it as a play, it would never leave Minnie's haberdashery. There wouldn't be any of the stagecoach scenes. And it would start with chapter 5.
Oh, okay.
So you would see what the setup was right from the beginning, and then you'd just see those other characters show up 2 by 2 into the situation, which I think would be a really good way to do it.
Interesting. Is there a completely different way to do it?
In this film, is there any, one of the things about your film is there's always some good feet shots. And I've developed a bit of a foot fetish.
Horse foot shots.
All right.
It's too cold for feet in this one.
I literally, actually, when I was watching the dailies, you know what I'm talking about, the slow motion shot of the horse hooves in the snow?
That was it.
I was literally, this is the most beautiful foot shot I have ever done. Even more than Uma Thurman's feet. These horse hooves are the most beautiful foot shot ever.
What size are her feet?
I don't know per se, but
Jimmy likes them big.
Yeah, I've developed a bit of a foot fetish in the last 5 years, and I can't believe I'm saying that because it was one that I fucking avoided for the first 42 years of my life, and I've begun to enjoy feet.
No feet in this movie. They're all in boots.
I like a big foot on a woman. It's
I do too.
Sexy.
I do too.
They're all covered up in this film because it's very cold.
It's very cold.
We had Bruce Dern in here. He was a treat to talk to. He was a treat.
He's a raconteur, if ever there was one.
Absolutely.
I remember Mr. Hitchcock told me.
He has so many stories to tell. But he said the set, they would arrive. It was -5 degrees, and it would warm up. I don't know if you guys officially warmed it up, but maybe the equipment and all. But it would warm up to.
He had an electric blanket.
Oh, really? It would warm up to maybe -20 because you really want to see the people's breath.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to put that in post, obviously.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And then he told a story, and Kurt Russell denied it, but he said that he was sucking on oxygen because the thin air, the altitude.
Not like an oxygen tank next to it.
No, in between,
but actually, that's one of the things they give you when you first arrive at Colorado, because the altitude is so big. You get these little oxygen cans to, like, if you get a little heady, you take the oxygen, and you only need it when you first arrive, the first day or so, just to kind of get your equilibrium the right way.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, drink lots of water. You get so sick of hearing that a weekend. They're like, make sure you drink water. I'm like, I fucking heard you. I'll drink the water.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you?
And be careful when you drink alcohol. But actually, coming from work, hey, all the better.
Right.
You drink less and get more effed up.
Now, do you like do you prefer a clean foot or a stinky foot? I prefer a stinkier foot, and I don't know why.
Just because you want to talk about this shit.
All right, fair point. I am honestly curious.
Travis is a huge fan. You got a question for Quentin as we wrap up here? Okay, good. Yes.
Yesterday in the Variety piece about you and Samuel L. Jackson, there was a really interesting thing that they kind of glossed over, and I'd never heard about it before, is that you have actually given him rewrite privileges, and that he's the only actor that you've given that to. And I thought that was surprising because I know how married you are to your work. Yeah. Can you expand on that a little? Was that something that he came to you about, or was that something that you guys just happened upon?
It's not, it's not quite rewrite privileges. It's more like the fact that he's not a writer who can sit down on a blank piece of paper and fill out a bunch of stuff, but he is really good at looking at what's there and seeing if there's something else that can be put there that works both for his character and actually works for the storytelling and the drama of the story. And actually, it's not BS improvisation. It actually adds to he adds in my key, if you know what I'm talking about. He adds to my kind of phrasing. And also, he's a very, he's a natural born actor. When he was born, the doctor pulled out the baby out of Mrs. Jackson and said, you just gave birth to a 2-pound actor, Mrs. Jackson. And he comes from this right kind of theatrical kind of way. And one of the things about it is, it's never like willy-nilly, like he's just changing shit around to change shit around. And by the way, if I don't like it, we go back to exactly the way it was. And he's cool. He's not going to be sulking about it or anything. He knows it's my movie. But the thing about it is, he figures it out at home and works it out to a fairly well. So when, he presents it on the set or in rehearsal, it's performance ready.
He's well prepared.
Yeah, it's the idea has been shaped and digested, and he gives me a performance ready version of it. So I genuinely can appreciate it. And to give you an example of that, would be like in Django, when they have the dinner table scene. Yeah. And Leo is standing there at the head of the table, and he's just kind of standing off his man on the side. And, the way it was written, he was there standing off on the side. Sam worked out that whole business of parroting everything Leo said. That just makes the scene. It's just so
beautiful.
So, terrific. Yeah. I could sell Eskimo Joe to anybody. But I gotta say is first things first. And he worked it all out when we did it, and it was just it had to be there. It just absolutely had to be there.
That's his talent.
Is there any actors you're intimidated to work with?
Oh, no actors I'm intimidated to work with. I know the better the. I'm used to working with the best actors in the world, so I'm actually bring it on.
Really fast. How did you change the script when it was leaked?
Well, it was just more about the fact that
was there big changes?
Well, yeah, there was, but not necessarily in retaliation to the script leak. It was the fact that I was going to write the script a little differently than I'd ever had before, i.e., I wanted to go through three different drafts, and then just each draft would take it a little further and a little further down the line. And so the first draft was leaked, and it was in a very embryonic stage.
Okay.
And so that's why I reacted so badly, because I just wasn't done. I mean, just to give you an example. The Lincoln letter, which is a motif in it that like kind of carries throughout the whole movie. In the first draft, the only time it was ever brought up was the stagecoach. Because I wasn't ready to kind of deal with it 100%. I knew I had a second draft coming, and I knew I had a third draft coming. So I just kind of brought it up then, and I was just going to work my way into it and the other draft. So that's kind of how the process works.
Did the leak help you in the end? Because I can't imagine the movie being any different. It's a great film.
Nah,
I think Travis just told me that...
it ultimately didn't hurt me, but...
You ended up changing the ending, though, right?
Yeah, but that was going to happen anyway.
Okay.
I mean, the first draft, the ending was not the ending, it was a ending.
Did you find out who leaked it?
I didn't figure it out who it was, the person, but I kind of made there was about 12 people that had it. And I kind of figured it out. Okay, oddly enough, the movie's a mystery. So it kind of, and I'd just been playing detective with the Sam Jackson character. So I kind of used my own detective skills to kind of figure it out. And I actually, I literally figured it out that it was between the three people most likely to do it and the three people most unlikely to do it. And amongst those six was the culprit. And after that point, I didn't really want to know who did it.
I have a surefire way. I'll tell you off air, a surefire way to prevent that from happening again.
Did you take them off your Christmas card list?
No. Like I said, I never really figured out.
Well, then you should take all six off the Christmas card list.
But there's actually kind of a funny story if I got time to tell it.
They're telling us you got to go, but if you want to stay...
he's got plenty of time. You go right
plenty of time, Quentin.
You
You stay as long as you like.
Okay, well, there was a funny thing. It was like, I make it... there was about 12 people, but in my mad rant against everything going on, I was like, okay, there's Tim Roth. I gave it to Tim Roth. I gave it to Michael Madsen. I gave it to Bruce Dern. And the one that I know didn't do it was Tim Roth.
Yeah, he needs the work.
So the whole world just took it that Michael Madsen did it.
We love Madsen, by the way.
And so, like, Michael Madsen gives me a call. He goes, Quentin, you gotta, let people know that it wasn't me. I mean, I'm getting all this stuff. I'm in Italy shooting a movie. And they go, Michael, how could you do that to your friend, Tarantino? And then not even just that. Literally, he got a phone call from his grown son who's like, Dad... Why? Why, Dad? Why? I mean, Quentin, he loves you. How could you do it? It's like, Jesus, even my own son thinks I did it.
Listen, they're panicking. We got to get you out of here. The Hateful Eight, I saw it. A lot of us saw it. We all absolutely... It's a Quentin Tarantino film. It's great. You got the comedy. You got the characters. The writing's amazing. The blood. It's all there for you, man. It's
all the trademarks.
Really, congratulations, Quentin, on another masterpiece.
I want to see it in the Panavision. As I said this morning, Panvision, because I'm a fucking dope. But I really want to see it in Panavision.
There you go, mate. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Always a fun time.
Right on, man. We'll take a quick break.
This is Opie Radio. Opie Radio. The show is back.
Are you talking to yourself?
No, I was talking to you.
Oh, I'm getting ready to bring the show back, though. I didn't even hear you. What were you saying?
I was just saying there's nothing about the contract. Whatever what we were talking about in between, but there's no reason for the.
Let's get Henry Rollins in here because he's late. I mean, we're late getting him in here. We ran late with Quentin Tarantino, and now we got Henry Rollins. What's up, Henry?
Hey, Henry. Oh, hey, how you doing?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I was just thinking this morning, we haven't seen you in a while.
No, it's been a few years.
Why?
I don't know. I just get scheduled. I go where I'm told. Maybe I didn't do anything
maybe
noteworthy enough. I have no idea.
Maybe you were just taking some time off. Because what I like about you is you always have a good travel story. This guy loves traveling.
I just came back from Antarctica about 10 days ago.
There you go.
So finally I've gotten to all 7 continents, and it was amazing.
Did you go where they
mind blowing?
Is there a place? Is it Antarctica where they have that thing where they do the science testing where like no human hands have been, where they go deep down under the ice?
Yeah, because when you drill into the ice, you can go back like 30,000 years, 50,000 years, and things get trapped in the ice. They can analyze everything from quality of air to what's living there, so the ice becomes a fossil.
Yeah.
And you take all these lectures on the boat. You're on a boat full of scientists, and I sat there with my notebook and learned about penguin, seals, whales, history, whale slaughter, seal slaughter, and all of that, and how you get information.
Yeah.
And they still are down in that part of the world getting all kinds of information on climate change and water systems and weather. And
what was the one thing that blew you away from that trip?
Just the purity of the air.
Really? You just really notice it?
Oh, yeah. And just the snow is blue. The ice is blue because of it's so compact. And penguins everywhere. Like, usually in America here, like, there's a deer, it's a big deal. Look, that's the fox. You're not used to seeing many of anything, except rats, squirrels, you know what I mean?
It's funny you say that, because
down there, there's not like two penguins. There's like hundreds of them, and they walk right by you
next to you
because they don't acknowledge you as a predator.
Okay.
And they peck your boot, they look up at you and kind of check you out and keep on moving by.
Yeah, I like Central Park, and the tourists go in there and they take video of squirrels. I'm like,
really?
It's just a fucking squirrel.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess where they come from, they don't have squirrels.
Yeah, all they have is bugs and lawyers.
Hey, did you pet any of the penguins? I hear they
it's
smell.
a big no to touch anything.
Why?
Just because it's a pristine environment, so you're supposed to leave nothing, and they reek.
They do smell, right?
Oh, they kind of just drop where they stand, and it's they eat, and 4 minutes later, there's the evidence.
And I don't think
and it's pungent, and there's hundreds of them, and you smell them as you leave the boat. You're like, penguins that way, yeah.
And they can't lick their own assholes, I would assume, so they're probably a little dirtier than most.
It's nothing I ever thought about. But,
think about it, though, for a second. Come on, Henry, you're thinking, man.
Yeah.
I don't think they can get down there.
You're so far from communication. Like, say you're out there and you want to, go to funny mofos or different things on the internet or something. You can't even get it out there.
Believe it or not, they have internet. It's very costly. It's like $1 a minute. And it's not very good. And so I have to keep, sadly, I have to keep communicating with my office. I wrote articles to different magazines. So I had deadlines, and I had to sit online 7 minutes to send 1,000 words back to Los Angeles. So I paid $80 in internet just to work.
How cold is it?
When I was there, it's basically their late spring. So the penguins are breeding and they're nesting and all of that. And so it was like 30 degrees, 25 degrees.
Okay.
It's doable. I mean, like, just dress for winter and you're fine.
Where
New
do
Yorker couldn't handle. So
where do you sleep? What do they got for that type of thing?
I was on a nice ship. It's all very nice. But I slept out under the stars for one night. You can sign up for the camping option. So I did that. And you can sleep in a tent or outside of it. So I picked outside.
Outside the tent?
Yeah. Just so you can, get it.
What do you cover your face in, though?
I had a hat on and was kind of peeking out of my sleeping bag. It was fine.
I bet you could see the stars really nice.
There's
nicely down there.
Some clear nights, but we had a lot of cloud cover.
Oh, really?
As they told us over and over again, the weather's unpredictable. Like, today you're going here, and then the sea changes. Like, we're not going there now. We can't get you off the boat. The sea's too wild.
Oh, wow.
And everything is you're really in Mother Nature's mercy.
And the other thing I like about you, do you have a house these days? I remember talking to you, and you were pretty much, you sort of have a place, but you're never there because you want to spend your life just traveling and seeing this world.
I have a house in Los Angeles,
but
and
you're rarely there.
I'll be back there tomorrow for about 10 days, and then I'm gone most of next year.
That's it?
Yeah, I'll be on tour. And so on the 31st, I'm leaving for Europe, and that's the first leg of the next year's tour.
Right.
Did you see any bears when you were there, polar bears?
No, that's the North Pole. That's like...
Oh, they're not in Antarctica.
No. There's like whale, seals, penguins, and...
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't have been farther off, by the way, location-wise.
No, I made that mistake. I said, polar bears, right? They said, sorry, dude, wrong part of the planet. I mean, there's a lot to learn.
Yeah. Well, we're promoting He Never Died, right?
Yeah, it's this film that rolls out in a couple of days.
Nice.
And what are you playing that?
I'm the lead guy. Is a guy named Jack. He can't die, and I shall not divulge why, because it kind of ruins the plot line. However, he's been alive for hundreds of years, and the best part about it is he's clinically depressed and really bored. Because you know how easy it is to have it up to here with people, but what if you had like 900 years of that?
Right.
And so he gets in violent situations, and he's really good at killing because he's had so much practice. So when people run at him like, I'm going to kill you, like, no, you're not, click, bang, crack, and he just takes people out with this bored expression. And if people type in "he never died," they can see the trailer online, and they'll see what I mean. But I read the script here in New York years ago, like in 2012, and I read it, and I said, I want to be this guy because it's funny and different. And I met the director and producer the next day, and I said, I'm in. They said, oh, we want you for this. Let's go. And we raised the money and shot the film.
Nice.
You were also in Lost Highway, which I love. And what did you do in Lost Highway?
Oh, I just did it to work with David Lynch.
No. I mean, who did you play in Lost Highway? It's been some years.
I was a prison guard. It was a small part. But David called me and said, look, I'm a fan of yours. I said, okay, I'm going numb. And because I'm a huge fan of his, he goes, I'm almost done with the movie. I've got a few little tiny parts. I want cool people in them. So if you want to be a prison guard, you're welcome. I said, where are you right now? I'll just come to your set and meet you. So I drove to the set and met him and Patricia Arquette and Bill Pullman, and they're all really cool. Yeah. And so they said, here's your prison guard outfit, and there's like high water pants. And I said, look at the pants. We won't shoot that part because we had no more budget. So I worked in the film for a week.
That's
and
awesome.
you get to hang out with David Lynch every day. How bad can that be? And he's zero letdown. He's as cool as you'd hoped he would be. And it's a friendship that lasts to this day. I run into him now and then. He's always so cool to me. Yeah. And remembers me. And, he's a really interesting intellect.
Do they make you... Oh, sorry. Do they make you read, or do you get the part? Do you have to come in?
I usually audition. But every once in a while, I don't have to. Like, He Never Died, they said, we wrote this with you in mind. We know you can do it. Go. Like Sons of Anarchy, I met with Kurt Sutter. Mm-hmm. We talked about the part. And I said, okay, so am I auditioning for this? He goes, no, I just want to know if you want the part or not. I said, yes. He said, good, I'll see you on set. I said, am I on your show? He went, yes, don't tell anyone until you see the press release. Because that's not my regular experience. Usually I stand in line, I audition.
You played a Nazi in Sons of
Anarchy.
Right?
Season 2, yeah. And I get taken out.
Yeah. So, like, because it's so different than acting, the auditioning. You know you can knock it out once you're on the set.
Yeah.
Auditions
are hard.
It's ridiculous.
You're right now hearing a speech he has given himself in the mirror many times. Acting is different than auditioning.
It is.
So just hire me. I'll knock it out on the set.
I've trained harder for auditions than for the actual part. Because once you're there, you're like, okay, I'm in the rare air. You're in the jet stream. You can do this. And you can. The auditions are murder until you get over yourself. So I used to go in really self-conscious. I couldn't sleep the night before. You walk out sweating like, I sucked. Yeah. And then you just go in like, and you bomb like, whatever. Just get in your car and go home and go do another one the next day. Right. You let it roll off you.
You get 2 in a row?
Well, yeah, I have an agent. Well, I live like 10 minutes from all those studios, so they'll throw you against the wall, with all these other guys. Yeah. And, I usually don't get the part, so I'm quite used to that, but it doesn't bug me like it used to. And it makes, as soon as you can laugh at yourself and go, all right, that sucked, and I live another day, then you do better auditions. Yeah. Like when you just walk in and go, look, I'm going to give you the best I got. I thought about this. Boom, boom, boom. And validate my parking, and I'm back down to the
But at least after you bomb an audition, 5 guys in the waiting room, hey, Henry Rollins.
Well, sometimes it's a loud audition. Mm-hmm. You're not going to burn it. And like when you bomb that, everyone heard you. Through the door. I walked out with the receptionist like, and every other actor is usually like, so Henry, the character's between 30s and 40s. Like, really? I'm in my mid-50s, and you're sitting in a hallway with these guys with perfect gym bodies, like bulging men with amazing hair. And I'm like, I'm 55. Look at me. I look like how I look. And you're sitting, this kind of shriveled old guy with these like vascular young men. You're like, why am I here? And they look at you like, your hair isn't fantastic. Well, and you walk in, you're like, why am I here? And the casting lady goes like, why are you here? Yeah. And you do your part, and they kind of smirk. You walk the hallway of smirk as you go back to your car.
Right.
Beautiful.
I got called on an audition one time. I didn't know what it was, and I walked in, and it was literally the best looking guys I've ever seen. And I found out it was for Calvin Klein, and it was a print ad. My manager had sent me out for a print ad for Calvin Klein.
Oh, wow. Maybe you could have been the before picture.
Not even in that. No, I couldn't have been. It was humiliating.
And what happens is your agent gets a piece of your action.
Yep.
And there's some agencies, I won't mention names, that are famous for, they'll take everyone in their building and throw it against the wall and get 15% of whatever sticks. And you go for auditions like, okay, the guy is 9 years old, and you're like, really? And it's quite often you go in for things like 15 years younger, or you're a Calvin Klein model. Like, sure I am. Look at me. Come on. So you just have to just go in there and just go, like, this is comedy.
And accept
it's funny.
Right.
And I can't take the rejection seriously.
Sure. Are you really done with music?
Yeah.
Done?
Yeah. Oh, many years ago.
No, I know it's been many years, but you never know if all of a sudden you decide. You just know. Why do you just know?
Here's why.
Because you were one of these guys that obviously had such a passion for it.
Yeah.
When you were doing it.
One day I ran out of lyrics. There's no more toothpaste left in the tube. And I woke up one day fully rested, sat up, and went, I'm done.
Wow.
And it was a weird, somebody had uploaded the thought, I'm waking up and, wow, I'm done with music. Who told me that? And I called the manager, and I said, hey, man, are you sitting? He said, yeah. I said, I'm done with music. And he's like, hold on, I have to hold on to something. I said, yeah, because my choice was this. It's very simple. Either I stop, or I go out and repeat the past. Like, hey, kids, remember this one? And I'm at an age at that time, my dad remembers that one, but I don't. And I just didn't want to be that guy repeating the past, because when you do that, you tour for 8 months, you learn nothing, you're resting on laurels, it's not risky. He looks foolish, and I know people do it for a living. They play the hits. I don't have hits, and I don't want to do it.
You're describing Rich Voss's career.
I get all that, but it's so hard for anyone to walk away from their passion.
Yeah. But
that's why you see a lot of these guys where you do see them and you go, maybe you should go and do something else at this point.
Thankfully, in the mid-'80s, I realized guys in my genre of music were all going to die of starvation. I better come up with plans B, C, D, E, F, and G. So I started going on auditions, started doing more writing, more stand-up shows, getting other things to do. And then luckily, music did work out. But by the time I was done with music, I was already doing TV and film. So I told the manager, do more of that, and it filled it in, and now I'm busier than ever.
You did stand-up?
Well, I do talking shows. Yeah. I do that all over the world, and sometimes the stories are funny, and sometimes they're not. But it's not like I'm a comedian, but often it lends itself to humor.
Have you ever heard of Mark Norman?
No.
No one has.
Oh.
Have you had
that's amazing.
Have you had any since you stopped doing music? Have you had any moments where you were like, "Wow, this would be a great song," and you started to kind of wish that you want to?
No,
none of it.
Because I did it, as you probably know, I did it really hard and relentlessly. I mean, album tour for 25 years, and there's not one thing that's new about it. And I'm not all that interested in going into the practice room with the band and wanting to throttle the bass player and having to put up with this guy and then the tour bus full of people and another gig. There's nothing new about it for me. I'm not putting it down. I want to take risks. So I'll go off on auditions and be foolish, or I'll go and host documentaries because that's new and different, or I'll teach myself how to work a camera and fly to countries and start doing photojournalism, which I do.
It's really brave. Different. It's brave. Because you could have taken the easy path, and
but
I'm sure you could have squeezed it out.
It keeps the adrenaline up.
Right,
you're like, well, I'm not good at this, and here I go.
Yeah.
Or I'm not qualified for this part, and I'm going.
Yeah.
And you just go for it.
Do you get afraid financially ever? That's what would scare me, is the idea of the money. Did it ever scare you?
No. I'm lucky that way. I don't need to worry about finances. Okay. I just like to take risks. Not risks like I'm going to die, but just hey, you want to do a History Channel documentary series? Yeah, I'll try that. I like history enough. Is this it? I never did that before. So, give me a mic and let's go. So it keeps you, gets you up at 6 a.m, whew, instead of all right, going back to this
again. Here we go again. This old gag.
Right.
You followed your heart.
Yeah.
It's not it's not the easiest thing to do sometimes.
And this sounds corny, but I've been rewarded every time I went for the risky thing. I've always landed on my feet enough, and it's worked out.
Right on.
Get that fucking shot, man.
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, that's a guy still in shape. That's not too long ago.
That's the one part of that I really didn't understand why Kurt Sutter, that was his tattoo idea on the chest.
I kill niggers, it says. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
did you really get that tattoo?
Yeah. No, it hurt. I went to the makeup trailer one day, and they said, okay, we have this decal that we're going to put on, and has anyone told you? I said, no.
Real?
And they said, well, here it is. I'm like, really? Like, what white supremacist would put that word on his body? So first off, it doesn't make sense. Second off, and I get grief about that photo. Like, what's up with that? Like, it's a decal. Like, shut up. Like, it's in poor taste. I'm being directed. I don't know what to tell you.
And you're playing if you're playing a Nazi guy or a guy who hates blacks or hates Jews, you're supposed to be in poor taste.
Yeah, your character's in poor taste in general.
And this is the funniest part. He shot that scene. That's a real tattoo parlor in a really rough part of Los Angeles. And between takes, I'm outside waiting to go back in again without a shirt on. Locals are walking out. I'm like, oh, wow. And, someone in the crew went, get him a shirt, because people are walking by and they're looking at that like, hey, man, you got a problem.
You got nice traps. Look at those fucking traps.
Yeah, that's just 4 meals a day in lifting. I mean, that's doable.
Do you when you were performing, because you're pretty hardcore, would you get into scraps at all, or like have like G.G. Allen type incidents, or no?
Well, G.G. Allen would challenge people to fight him, and I never did, but people would come after me. Yeah, I got in a lot of fights in those days, like a lot of fights.
And what was it that would make them want to fight you? They loved the music, or they didn't like you, or
testosterone. We're all young idiots, and so some guy needs to butt heads with me at the base of the mountain in springtime. If I had a dime for every time a girl would come up to our van in the afternoon, my boyfriend's a skinhead and he's going to kick your ass tonight. Like, honey, put it under the pillow, I'll smoke it in the morning. And 4 hours later, hey man, what do you think you're? I'm like, I think I'm a starving guy in a band who makes $8 a year. And would you please let me sing these songs that you paid $4 to come in and sing?
So you only had 2 people at your concert?
Yeah, but it's indie music. Everyone is like, the ribs are sticking out, and it is what it is. But there's a lot of fighting in those days, and I did all of that from like 81 till about 88. It calmed down, and everyone became way friendlier, which was a relief, because I am not good at fighting. B, I'd rather just do the singing and get out. But my hands are all broken up from all those knuckleheads.
Wow. Did they get, plus the audience probably gets a few years older, and they made a couple of them get married, and they're like, I don't want to be in a fist fight at this
exactly.
show.
And also, you're suable. The hospital, I mean, I've been stitched up from people's feet. I have cigar and cigarette burns on my leg.
Jesus.
I have the scar on my lip. That was a boot in my mouth. There's stripes across my eyebrows from fists with rings. There's a scar right here. That was a guy who kicked me in the head. I mean, he was like, they get angry, so they're throwing ashtrays, and so I've been knocked out in countries all over the world.
Yeah, he's done with music.
Right? Yeah. But that stopped, thankfully.
No, I know.
I went kind of
early on.
The general group reached a certain age and went, what am I doing? But when you're 22, it's kind of like, I must hit him. Yeah. And I never liked it.
There comes a time where you realize getting hit just hurts.
Right.
When you're younger, it's kind of fun, and you don't really think much about it. As long as you don't get really hurt.
It's real.
But then you get a little older, and that one punch, you're like, oh, God, this fucking
it's
hurts. I don't want to
lawyers
deal with
to punch a guy in the nose at a bar. I mean, it's you get grown up and you do that. It's no joke. Then you get sued.
When we were growing up, that wasn't part of it. No one sued anybody. They just understood.
It was never part of the equation. Yeah. Thankfully, I never got into that. But, some guy would hit me and I'd hit him back, get the better of him. That guy would call the cops on me after he started it. So I'm in Cleveland, jammed up by the cops. Like, that guy's a broken nose. You want to explain that? And I'm like, yeah. And like 80 people in the crowd would go, yeah. That guy hit Henry. Henry hit him back, and they let me go. Mm-hmm. But that happened from here to Germany.
Look what happened to Randy Blythe,
You'd have to talk your way out of it.
Randy Blythe from Lamb of God. I mean, there was all this stuff. People would come on, he'd have to throw him off stage, and then he gets mixed up with a fan that died, and it wasn't even him who did it.
He's completely innocent of that.
Oh, I know.
If you watch the video,
he is. He's totally innocent.
And he's a really good guy.
We loved him. And we had him once so far.
No, he's a good dude. And they put him in prison.
Yeah.
Like, he thought he wasn't going home. I mean, he told me he did some bad.
And he went back to face trial. He's a really
they told him not to go back.
He's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
He said, "Look, I gotta face this," even though.
But when you watch the video, you're like, why are you jamming him up? He didn't do a damn thing.
Nothing.
And the kid who got thrown off in the video that Randy actually threw off showed up in court for him and said, no, that's me that he threw off. That was not the guy who died.
Like that.
So he got very lucky. But
where was this?
This was, I overseas Germany or something. I don't remember. No, it was
Lithuania or something.
Yeah, Bulgaria.
I'm trying to remember
some place where
you
might not get the fairest of trials.
Did you ever, what was the thing that they would do? And I think Scott Ian talked about this, that when they liked you in certain countries, there's a term for it where they would spit on you at these hardcore shows.
Punk rock shows, they would do that. I remember that in the early 80s in England. You're like, what are you doing? We like you. You're like,
and they would the whole audience would spit at you or spit on you.
Yeah, and I remember I had this, I inhaled, and I caught this massive.
You don't even have to finish the statement.
Perfectly. And it's like when the ball gets no rim when it hits the net. You're like, wow! That is now. I'm digesting that. It was like a perfect shot.
You ate an oyster.
You're like it's someone else's.
Norton does that with cum.
And I'm glad you guys are friends.
Yeah.
But
Norton isn't.
That was literally you'd come off stage and look at your pants and just go, I don't have another pair of pants. And you like put them in a sink and just kind of scrape them off when you wanted to kill these people.
Do you watch like when you did Sons of Anarchy? Do you watch the whole? Do you watch the show?
I watched the season I was in. Yeah, I just wanted to see how I did. I find it excruciating to watch myself. Like this film, He Never Died. I've seen it 3 times, just because I've seen it at festivals I'm at. But I'd rather not watch myself.
Henry, I don't want to be rude. I got to go, but you can continue.
Yeah, we'll keep talking. Rich.
Because I love Henry Rollins. I wish I had more time with you. He Never Died in theaters this Friday.
Yeah, thanks.
But I got to fly, but continue. I just didn't want you to see me walking out awkwardly.
It's okay.
See you later.
Take it easy.
Yeah, I watched Sons of Anarchy I was really happy, to be part of that. You, all of you guys have been on, films or whatever, and quite often, or a TV show, and quite often there's 1 to 3 people you have to watch out for. Attitude, drug problem, where you're like, it's unpleasant to be around him. You just make room. You're like, okay, he's not cool. You act around him, act through him, avoid him. So I figured at Sons of Anarchy, a huge cast, there's going to be 1 to 5 of that. So I'm like, okay, here we go. And I'm like the new guy. And my first day of shooting, I'm on the set, and every one of that cast came up to me separately and went, so glad you're here. This is going to be great. And there's not one jerk in that set. I'm like, how can that? And they're all cool.
Probably because they're all playing bikers, too. It's probably the ones where, it's like a Beverly Hills show where they're all playing rich kids or happy kids. That's probably where you'll get, the dickheads. But the guys playing the bikers are probably the nicer
And they're all
dudes.
funny. And I'm sure most of them have been here with you guys, but man, there's just a good group of people.
Do you know where I see those guys? We've interviewed some of them. I see them at UFC events. A lot of those guys love UFC, and I'll see them, and I'm like, who is that guy? The guys in Sons of Anarchy.
That doesn't surprise me. But there wasn't one. Down to the last crew member, it was 6 months of I don't want this to end. And of course, my character gets killed off. And I remember driving away from the set for the last time, almost with a lump in my throat, going, damn, because you knew the show was going to be huge. You guys are about to take over the world, and I just got killed.
Yeah.
So
5 seasons.
And if I had been back, it would have been one of the luckiest turns of my stunted life. But
how many seasons were you on?
1.
You were 1. Yeah.
But for me, I'm not used to getting work like that. I'm in a film where okay, I get eaten by rodents and I'm dead in 7 minutes, or I'm in 1 episode of a TV show or 2, but not a season. And they said at the beginning, we like your character, and you're going to be in 3 episodes. And then they saw how me and Adam Arkin worked together, and my manager called me and said, they're loving you in this show. They're writing you into more episodes. And I end up doing almost every episode just because they liked what we were doing.
Right.
So being told you're pulling your weight, never having taken an acting lesson, it's very, gives you a lot of confidence. That really helped me, become better, because you act every day you're a full-time actor. Every day you're acting 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
And it makes you better.
And do you ever doubt yourself when you're doing that stuff?
No.
Or do you just, I'm here and I'm going
to... Once you're there, you just give everything you have to it, and you don't have time to be nervous. You're just hitting it.
Do you find it harder to do drama or comedy?
Comedy.
It is, right?
It's easy to be funny on stage or funny in real life, but when it's on a script, then you see why those guys and women get the big bucks. Because, man, that is like trying to read another language. I don't know how someone can read something off the page and go, okay, I'm going to step here, here, and here, hit the line there, and everyone's going to laugh. And that's when you really appreciate when you see a comedy. You're like, okay, you guys are really talented. And yet it's damn near impossible.
No Academy Award for comedy.
And there ought to be, because you see comedy films, you're like, really? That's as good as anything I've seen in 10 years. And I did not know that. I don't watch the award shows, but because all of you have done comedy where it's scripted, and you're like, really? And then for some people, they have it. They can walk in and hit it.
Will
I don't
Ferrell.
have that skill. And then it makes you really respect them, because that talent is almost innate.
Yes, exactly.
You walk in with it. Like a musician, they just pick up sticks, start playing drums. You're like, you're born to do that.
Right.
As an actor, there's actors that will take a role and they're in that character throughout. Like when you're playing this Nazi guy, once you walk off the set, You drop the character completely. Like, you could pick it up like that once you get to the set. No, I mean, but there's a lot of...
He's asking basically if you're Daniel Day-Lewis and you act like Lincoln the entire time you're shooting Lincoln.
No. I shot that show like 4 traffic lights from my house. So after the day's over, they take the decals off you, and I got in my dented Subaru and drove home.
There are guys like that, though, who like live, and it's their method actors, and it's the way they do it, and it seems to work.
And I applaud that, but what you should know, and all the listeners should know, is I'm a jack-off from the minimum wage working world who got insanely lucky via rock and roll. I come from minimum wage work with an apron and a cap and like serving ice cream and carrying movie theater tickets. Punk rock allowed me to be on stage. From there, directors say, hey, you're a crazy guy. You want to be in a movie? I'm like starving in Silver Lake, California. Like, I'll try anything. Like, what do I have to lose? And what do I have to go back to except a spatula? And so I got into all of that. And at this point, 35 years later, I've done a lot. However, I still don't think I'm anything except a guy who's like scamming in. So whenever I'm in a film, I'm like, I can't believe the Hollywood cops haven't busted me for the non-actor I really am.
You're waiting for that moment where the entire group recognizes at the same time, oh no, he doesn't belong here.
En masse, like the grip, boom guy that's go, wait a minute, come here. And they put the stunt cuffs on you and you are out of there. I keep waiting for that moment.
Do you go to Hollywood parties and hang with the...
No. I go to rap parties out of politeness. I go for the crew. I love the crew. Yeah, and actors you work with for weeks, they're all cool.
Yeah.
And I go just to say thank you. As soon as I've made the rounds to say thank you, I leave. Because I don't drink. And those things get really loud. And I'm usually up early the next day for something else. So I always go to shake a bunch of hands and like do photos, and then I split.
Did you ever drink and stop, or did you just never do it?
I got like drunk like 4 times in high school, and I have the kind of body chemistry where every stimulant is a depressant. I smoked pot once, depressing. Tried LSD a few times, and I'm unhinged enough already. That was like, wow, I could lose my mind doing this. Interesting, never again, because I might not come back.
I never did acid. People are like, you'd be such a bummer to fucking trip with.
No, you shouldn't. I'm not putting you down.
No, you're right, though.
Some wiring, don't.
You could lose it forever.
It's not subtle stuff.
Shrooms are better.
Shrooms are better. Yeah. I tried that a few times. It's natural. It's like, that's fun.
Yeah.
But it's a waste of time in that I laughed for 8 hours and I don't know where I am. And where are my shoes? I gave them to the guy I vision quested with. He's an eagle and he's taking them to New Mexico. And I did that in the 80s a few times, but I got drunk in high school a few times. And, 4 Michelobs, vomit on your sneakers, and like, okay, I got it. I did it because of peer pressure. Like, your dumb friends, here, drink this. You're like, I want to fit in.
Yeah.
Never enjoyed it.
When you were singing punk, it seems like it's, and again, this could be from an outsider's point of view, but it seems like a very intense or angry form. Like, were you angry when you were doing that, or no?
Oh, yeah, I'm angry all the time.
What was it? Where do you think that came from?
Oh, everything from getting teased as a kid from parents that terrified you to, having, kids take your bike and knock you around. It's like... trim it this way. Up to age 17 or so, I inhaled. I took it. I threw the ball at my head. Here, come here, pussy. I took that for 17 years, and then I started exhaling the roar.
What a great way to say it.
That's like the bow comes back. And then you release the arrow.
Right.
And, the testosterone hits, punk rock hits, and you're like, all right, you want some volume and attitude? There's a place I can go with that, punk rock. I can be in a band. Oh, I got something for you. And that's why when I hit stage doing music, I've never had a fear of the stage. I can go up with a band on my own. Never a problem. I'm not saying I'm good. I'm just saying I'm where I'm supposed to be. And a lot of that comes from, you think I can't? You think I'm afraid of something? Watch. And it's from, getting punched out in 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade.
Who were the influences on you? Music? The Sex Pistols or the Ramones?
Sex Pistols, Ramones, Clash, The Damned. First wave UK punk rock for sure, and the Ramones, which is like in my DNA.
Yeah, they were fucking...
And just, it's kind of loner music because the lyrics are... It's not tough guy music. It's like, I don't get invited to the parties. The girls don't like me. What's my band? The Ramones. Because you see that first album, you see them on the cover. You're like, No one likes them, so that's my band. And I've met those guys over the years, and it meant a lot to me.
How about we've interviewed John Lydon a couple of times. He's
He's fascinating.
Interesting guy.
Yeah.
Really bright guy, much softer spoken than people would think, but he seems to not like bullshit at all.
No, he has zero tolerance. And a long time ago, in the Black Flag days, like 30 years ago, we read an interview with him, and they said, hey, what do you think about other punk rock bands like Black Flag? And he said, Black Flag are a bunch of rich, white, suburban kids, and we're like starving in some hovel, eating our own fingers for breakfast, like rich, suburban kids. Like, let's fight, because I'm a much nicer person now. In those days, either one of us or people around us would have stabbed that guy and taken an ear and worn it around our neck with a leather thong. And I sold all my Sex Pistols bootlegs. I was like done with that guy just because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Sure.
He really, in these days, you can insult me. I just laugh. But in those days, you take everything as a slight to your character. And he just didn't know what he was talking about. And then, right around that time, Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols, even though they're apart, he did that with Black Flag, and he's a buddy of mine. And when I met him years later, I'm like, what was he? He goes, I don't know what I was talking about. I was just talking, just a bunch of bull. But Lydon, that really hurt me. I said, because you're smarter than that, and I know you don't know what you're talking about. So I've never met the guy, and I'm a fan. But I'd like to say, man, you were wrong about me, because I'd like to shake his hand, because I admire him. I think his talent is completely intact.
Yeah, and he may admit that he was wrong. Sometimes you just hear the popular name when you're a band or a comic or whatever your thing is, and you've been around longer, and you hear the new popular guys, and you automatically resent them because it feels like, wow, they're relevant, and maybe I'm not as relevant as I was.
But that's the thing with him. He's never not been relevant.
Right.
I mean, they're touring right now, and look at the reviews. People said they're killing it.
Who's he touring with?
Well, he's out his pill, Public Image.
Right, okay.
But I know people, they write, they go, man, Public Image just played here last night. You got to see this tour. They're so good. And I'm like, I know. That guy's always good.
You're a good interviewer, too. I've watched your interview show, and you've talked to a lot of great people. Did you ever try to get him?
Yes. I tried to get him for my IFC show. And at one point on VH1, they said, what do you think about Johnny Lydon? I said, I'd like to put him on my lap and pet him as my lap dog. And he heard that. And his assistant said, John will think about it if Henry apologizes for that VH1 thing. And I went, absolutely not.
Good for you.
And I should have, just to get him on the show, just because I really would love to talk to him. Because I've heard him in interviews. He's brilliant.
He's great. What makes a bad interview to you? Like what I like about you or guys like Tarantino is you guys will talk about anything. You never go like, hey, not that. Like what constitutes a guy you're interviewing that you're like, oh, fuck, this guy stinks?
Oh, when they don't want to be there. And if I didn't want to be here with you guys, you'd never know. In that if I agree to do an interview, I'm showing up with a good attitude, even though... Like if I did, I do want to be here. This is fine.
Yeah.
But if I didn't, you wouldn't know because I'm not going to cripple your show with I'm having a bad day. Now it's your problem. Right. I wouldn't dare. And I've interviewed a lot of people, from music people, directors, because I've done radio and TV with interviews, and I've actually interviewed a lot of people. And some of them are just drips and they don't want to be interviewed. Then why'd you show up in a suit? You're a professor. Why are you such a pain in the ass? And I've interviewed, famous people who are just miserable.
Who'd you love?
Oh, Werner Herzog, the director, Samuel Jackson, because we talked about his days hanging out with the Black Panthers, his civil rights stuff, because he had a life in the civil rights movement that is fascinating.
I didn't know that.
Hoover, COINTELPRO, he can speak to all of that. He was an usher at MLK's funeral. He's got stories that'll peel.
Samuel Jackson was, wow.
And he was in some movie we were promoting on the IFC show. I said, look, before we do the thing, we're going to talk about your movie. You're here to promote it, and we're going to do that. Can I ask you about COINTELPRO, Hoover, heroin going into the ghetto, you being friends with A-Trap Brown? He went, you know this stuff? I said, I've read about it. Do you want to be? He said, man, no one asked me about this. Hell yeah. And we had this amazing interview, and he thanked me afterwards. He said, man, everyone just wants to know about me in Pulp Fiction. Because he's so great in it.
Right.
They never asked me about the 60s, and because he had a real life in that. And
didn't he do drugs and then get and then?
Oh yeah, no, he talked all about it. And so what I try and do if I have a guest is do my research. Because when you interview Gore Vidal, don't not have it together, because people like that don't suffer fools. You interview David Fincher, please be ready. He's smarter than you and everyone in the room put together. And so when I get interviewed, I do every interview I'm asked to do, and I get interviewed by people who looked at the one sheet for 10 seconds. All right, so you were in a band once, and you were born in Washington, D.C., so what's that about? And you're like, oh, get me out of here. So I learned from David Lee Roth to just interview myself. And I go, so you were in a band. What was that like? And then you just answer a different question that you'd rather do. And I asked Dave about that because he's a killer interview.
He's a very chatty Cathy. I love David,
but he's brilliant, multilingual, well-read. And if he doesn't like your question, he'll just answer a different one. And I've learned to do that from him.
One of the best moments with David Lee Roth, he was in here and we had Dwight Gooden. We were talking to Doc Gooden about because he'd written a book about smoking crack and how it ruined his life and how he missed the parade and doing coke. And he's going through this really sad story about doing coke. And David's like, yeah, the 80s were great. Like, it's so funny to watch. David's take was like, that was such a great time getting high. And his take was that, like, oh my God, what a terrible
Dave
point.
said on VH1 once, they said, what about cocaine? He said, no one told us it was bad for you. He says, you just get it. It was given to you. It was fun. And no one said, hey, this can kill you or it's habit forming. He said, we had a great, he was very, this was on VH1, so I'm not talking out of class, but he said, we just did it. I mean, it's in your face. It's great. And no one said this can have a downside.
Do you think musicians have gotten a little bit, because I like a social message, but do you think that the tone of musicians has changed in the last, like, 15 years or 20 years?
Quite honestly, I don't know how to answer that in that I don't pay attention. Are we talking in the recording studio?
In general, the attitude, I should say rock. I should make it more rock, but it seems like rockers aren't as loose and crazy as they kind of used to be.
I would agree. I think they're more, in a way, more studied. They're not as much sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and more social media, music, and self-promotion, where they don't have time to get high because they have to do an Instagram thing. And I don't know what that does to the music, but I have noticed that I think a lot of people maybe learn from people my age, and a lot of my peers are dead. Heroin, speed, bad living, bad choices, just bad luck. And they went, okay, that's not going to be me. And so I'll do this instead. And I've met, a ton of people in bands, and quite often they're kind of dandy in a way. You're like, wow, you're very well coiffed and your cuticles are wonderfully exfoliated. Where when I was young, you'd meet people who are like, their noses are running and they're like, where's my show? It was yesterday and you missed it. Right on. So maybe it's a bit more cleaned up.
And trying to recapture almost the look. Like you see guys that have a messy or ripped shirt, but you know that it was ripped on purpose and not because it was,
by a designer, not because they lived in it for 4 years. And I'm not here to put any band in the pejorative because all bands work hard, but I've noticed that it has gotten a little cleaner and maybe a bit more, that being said, a bit more sanitized. But I think that also comes with how recording methods have changed, where you record digitally. I coughed during that vocal. We can fix that. Like, we'll remove that and sample the other thing you said. That snare hit was bad. No, we're going to grab the one good snare hit and sample that in and hit the space bar and put the bad drummer back on time and cut the track for radio. Where you can walk in and be pitch incorrect, and don't worry, we're going to hit the knob, and all of a sudden, I can't name names, but there are multi-platinum artists, and none of the notes you hear them on their records can they hit in real life.
Sure.
They just hit the knob and like, he sounds great. I know the computer sounds great.
Right.
And so I think that has changed music. Where if you're Patsy Cline back in the 50s and 60s, either you can sing really well or you're not going to be on stage at the Grand Ole Opry because the other person who's insanely talented will be on stage. And I can't say I come from that because I come from punk rock where you just show up and go, ah! And then everyone goes like, yeah, he meant it. But I have noticed that the talent you need to bring tonally can be fixed if you can't actually bring it. And MTV, I think, was transformational in that bands no longer have to play well. They have to look good. Like, what am I, an actor or a musician? Where no one's hiring Janis Joplin for her looks because she has acne, but when you hear her sing, she breaks your heart and you can't thank her enough. Which she couldn't have survived MTV looking like she did, but the records are great. In the 80s, all of a sudden, like, wait a minute, I know that band. That's not their drummer. Yeah, the drummer has a skin thing, so they put in this guy. And you're like, really? That's not rock and roll? And so I think that kind of changed some of the dynamics of music, where all of a sudden you have to be visually okay instead of just a musician.
Right.
So
they're telling us we have to wrap up. You're a really fascinating guy.
Wow.
In Henry's film he's promoting is called He Never Died. It's in theaters this Friday, or you can, if you're going to forget that information, go to henryrollins.com or at Henry Rollins on Twitter. And Mark, are you promoting something?
Yeah, I'm at Magoobies this weekend in Baltimore, and then Fort Lauderdale Improv on the 26th and 27th.
Rich?
December 26th, Hollywood Casino in Charlestown, West Virginia.
And I had the Wilbur sold out in Boston, it looks like, so a second show is going on sale for February 19th. The pre-sale is today at noon, and the passcode is in the thing I tweeted. I don't know, it's a weird passcode. But, and then go to jimnorton.com for tour dates. And thanks, Henry.
It was cool meeting you.
Yeah,
great stuff. Thanks, you guys.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.